former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver.
You're turning professional and you're boxing, let's say, York Hall on a non-televised fight. You have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets, you effectively have to pay to fight.
A far cry then from Jake Paul facing Mike Tyson in 2024, when the purse was reported to be around £48 million. But the vast amounts of cash lining the top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream. And, you know, there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against the real prospects, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think.
Good morning, people. Welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn Aherne, in with former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
And we go again. Can Ruben Amorim keep up United's winning run going after that big Anfield victory? He was asked how his side can move on from that win without losing the rhythm.
We need to understand that football changed a lot, especially in this kind of club. So we are not thinking in the last game. We are thinking on this game is going to be really hard to win.
Man United take on Brighton at 5:30 this evening. Chelsea take on Sunderland at Stamford Bridge. And after Chelsea's midweek win over Ajax, Enzo Maresca spoke about how much he's enjoying working with the club's young talent.
I said many times that they are all good players, talented players. And the main thing for me is just to try to help them day by day, how they can get better and better. And also, for me personally, it's the only way to improve the team if you are able to improve players.
Chelsea versus Sunderland is all part of GameDay live at 3 o'clock this afternoon here on talkSPORT, and Liverpool head to the G-Tech to take on Brentford live for you on talkSPORT 2. Liverpool manager Arne Slot hopes his side can find the clinical edge they showed in their 5-1 thrashing against Frankfurt.
I said many times, against United and against Frankfurt, from open play we generated the same amount of chances. But the difference was that we didn't concede a set piece, but we scored 2 set pieces.
Arne Slot there. We'll see what happens today. It's live for you on talkSPORT 8 o'clock this evening. Plus, we'll get stuck into today's sport and action. And, of course, West Ham fans, we are here for your morning therapy. 03717 22 3344. It's Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. How are you?
I'm good, yeah.
I think I could get a job. Another little job on the side.
Go on.
Tony Cascarino's PA.
Why? Because
all week, wherever I've gone, how's Cass? What's Tony like? Do you think Tony'd be up for a bit of this? Do you think Tony'd be up for a bit of that?
Yeah.
And then I text Cass.
What, podcasts?
Podcasts. There's other things. I'll speak to you on air. off here. But there's a few things going on. But everywhere I go, Cass, everyone needs to know more about you. What's he been up to?
Well, I'm not secretive. I've done a book and a film.
Yeah, they were talking about your book as well, actually.
Yeah, which
This
was
is true. You did put it all.
that was good fun a long time ago. But yeah, is it paid jobs?
I'll try and get you some money. What's my cut though?
I'll give you 10%.
120.
That depends how much.
15 then.
Deal.
Never take the first number, people. Okay. Yeah, how's your week been? What's been happening?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, the heating and boiler went down this week, which was quite. We had for 2 days no hot water and no heating. Then the plumber come round and told us, put a big sticker on it, do not use. So now we've got a whole complete system.
So the plumber came into your house to put a sticker on your boiler to remind you that it's broken?
There was issues. We didn't know what actually was the problem. And he told us there was about 3 or 4 problems and we need to get a new boiler system.
Oh, man.
So he then slapped on a sticker, do not use.
Just remind you.
Do not use. So now we've only got the immersion to switch on, which is very expensive. It's just, switching the immersion on to get hot water.
Do you know what?
So just 2 hours a day, morning, and 2 hours in the evening, and try and get some more water. No heating at all at the moment.
Are you in a kind of new build house? Because the new builds, I feel, hold their heat quite well.
Yeah, no, they're very well insulated, but they're about 20, I'd say about 22, 23 years old now.
Right, okay.
The building. So I've smelt for 2 days.
I was going to say.
No, I'm okay now. I've had showers in the last 2 days.
Well, I've got you some deodorant here in my bag.
I tell you what, you don't half miss hot water and heating when you need it. Do you know?
I know. Makes you realise, doesn't it, how lucky you are to just have hot water sometimes.
Yeah.
But freezing this week. I actually landed from Glasgow back to Luton on Thursday morning. And it was the first time ever, Cass, I've got on off a plane from Glasgow to worse weather. It was that full monsoon. And that icy wind and the rain battering your face. I was like, take me back to Glasgow.
What was the name? Was it Benjamin, the one this week?
Was it really? Oh, yeah, it was Benjamin.
Was it Benjamin?
It was Benjamin,
yeah. We felt a bit of that on Thursday.
I know. And then it'll probably be hot for Halloween and then it'll get miserable again. I love our boring chats at the start of the show. So British to talk about.
Well, we can go straight hardcore because the weather, when we talk about how bad it was, we're about, the West Ham thing keeps continuing.
Shocker. Absolutely shocker, Rooney. We'll come to it in just a second. The Premier League fixtures this weekend continue today. Chelsea, Sunderland, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Newcastle, Fulham, 3 o'clock. Man United take on Brighton tonight, 5:30. That's a good one. Brentford face at Liverpool, 8 o'clock live for you here on talkSPORT, whereas last night for you live here on talkSPORT, Leeds beat West Ham. And here's how it all went down.
Here they're marching on together, and Leeds feels united. West Ham certainly doesn't.
But nothing will happen if we don't change.
It's a very, very strange setup. Into the path of Aronson, and Aronson scores inside the first 3 minutes at Ellen Road. What was that for defending? You can't call it defending.
But he needs to see a change of attitude first and foremost. You can do all the kind of tactics.
Right, put it in towards the near post. He's headed in by Rodon. It's 2-0, 15 minutes in. West Ham United are warming up. Callum Wilson away to our left-hand side, 15 minutes in.
We need a different individual up front. That was the main reason.
There is every chance that by the time we get to Monday morning, West Ham can be bottom of the Premier League.
You need to show a spirited, hard-fought performance and a hard-fought win.
Well, let's give credit to Leeds. Energetic, they move the ball extremely well, and these supporters will know that this is a major step forward in their road to safety. Bowen picks it up, dripping wet, sends it in towards Fernandes, and there's a flick off the back of his head and into the far corner. Good bit of quality he's shown, and he's found the back of the net. There was a late flurry, but it was nothing more than that. There are no happy hammers right now. Leeds United 2, West Ham 1.
Yeah, the misery continues for West Ham. After the game, West Ham manager Nuno Espirito Santo told talkSPORT's Sam Matterface that starting without a recognised striker ultimately backfired on them.
Maybe not starting him was a bad decision, and when you feel that is a bad decision, you try to change. And clearly, the way we were playing with trying to long balls due to the press, we need a different individual up front. That was the main reason.
Yeah, Callum Wilson came off the bench in the game last night. Cass,
yeah,
what did you make of the performance? I mean, I go back to our first show together towards, what was that, August or something, and you kept saying West Ham cannot defend crosses. I mean, last night was a shambles.
Yeah, I said that start of the season they'd be one of my teams to go down. Not for any personal reason, it's just that there was a really weird game last night because there was a few things. First of all, they don't play with a centre forward. Then they play with two fullbacks that are on the wrong side. Mm-hmm. Scholes and is obviously playing left back, and Wan-Bissaka's playing right back. Okay, you can utilise, great players. Dennis Irwin would do that quite comfortably, and others, fullbacks can do that. But not to have one midfielder who can't, can win the ball for you. West Ham, Soucek was on his own. Mm-hmm. And I'm laughing. I'm watching Brendan Aronson. I'm thinking, what's the best thing for Brendan Aronson to excel? Mm-hmm. It's to not have a defender against him. Just have unopposed. Every time he got the ball, or he got it in numerous occasions in midfield, he nearly scored a wonder goal on his own because he's literally run through the whole of the midfield. And I say midfield, it's basically one player at the time. And it was a complete, Nuno is the typical thing that happens with managers sometimes is you've been at a football club like Nottingham Forest, you join West Ham, and then you realise you had a much better bunch of players at Nottingham Forest than you've got at West Ham. And he's trying to find a team. But one thing you can't do, you can't have a midfielder in the modern game that can't win you back the ball.
Do you think Nuno is regretting taking the West Ham job?
No, I don't think he's regretting. I just think it's like managers walking through the door and realising, we really are that bad, and now I know why we're in the position we're in. Yeah. And now he's got to find solutions. Do you know one thing I would do immediately, and people might completely disagree with me on this, I'd play Wan-Bissaka as a holding midfielder. I wouldn't play him as a fullback. I'd say, you pick up, because he can get round the pitch, Wan-Bissaka. He's a good athlete. He's a good defender, as in one-on-ones. Get him in amongst the bodies where Aronson doesn't have a free pass. There was also Longstaff and Perdue, in the Leeds midfield. Get him around players so he can win the ball. And people might go, well, he hasn't never played there. Do you know what? I'll take a risk and play him in there because he can run and get around the pitch. Yeah. West Ham don't have anyone who can do that. They didn't have it with Ward-Prowse when he played. They didn't have it with Fernandes when he played. So there's issues that I just feel like last night they paid a price, but it was a lot of things wrong.
They're looking like favourites for the drop. However, it's still such early days, Cass. I mean, how can Nuno and these players turn it around immediately? Well,
they've got 4 games in November. The next 2 home games is, I'll just check, I think it's Newcastle and Burnley are the next 2 home games. So they've got 4 games in November. If any West Ham fans want to scare themselves or have nightmares going to bed, look at their December programme, because there's a real tough lot of fixtures in there for them. So they've got to pick up in the next 2 home games. They've got to show something that can enable them to get points. And by the way, you compound that problem. The atmosphere at the London Stadium is not good. So you're going to see the character of the players. You have to literally have a style where you get in your best athletes in midfield and go, do you know what? They're not going to win the ball back off us. They're not going to run through us. I mean, I could go on all night about the defending because that was another problem that you touched on. Crosses come in and they concede. The second goal for the corner, Pakata is more interested in trying to commit a foul and stop a player than not actually. And even I wouldn't have him marking, Rodon, who's a big centre half. I wouldn't have him marking him. Say, no, you go somewhere else. We'll get Kilman on there. Or somewhat a centre half to do a centre half's job.
Yeah, there's genuine concern. West Ham fans up and about this morning. What did you make of the performance last night? And are you really worried now 03717 223344 81089 if you want to send a text message. Tomorrow morning you can have your first say following Liverpool's game at Brentford. Tonight it's live on talkSPORT, so we're going to open the phone lines and you can have your say on all of the weekend's games. 03717 223344. Coming up next, we're going to look ahead to what's coming up on talkSPORT today, and shortly we're going to catch up with the Truro fan who's really gone the extra mile this weekend, Cass, to get to Gateshead for the game today. It's the longest journey in the National League, and this geezer has done it. You can find out how he's done it next on Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. welcome to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're live on your smart TV this morning. We're on the YouTube channel. Tony Cascarino is here. Like a bit of Katy Perry?
Yeah, I've heard this song a good few times. It's a great song.
Kids love this song. It's in Madagascar, isn't it? This song.
Oh, was that the film? The film, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you'd love it. Rocco would love it.
I know. I tend to when I go to take the kids Rocco to the cinema, I always fall asleep.
Oh God, you're not that dad, are you?
Yeah, I just nod off in there because I just.
At chill time.
So I always take one of his friends with him. He's got a company because I know I'm going to have the best sleep for an hour and a half.
No offence, Katie, and every other movie that you go and watch, you put him to sleep. Katy Perry's 41 today. Is she not with the President of Canada? Have I read that somewhere?
Really?
Is it Trudeau?
Oh, Trudeau, but he's the ex-president, not the president.
She's with him now? She was married to Orlando Bloom, obviously. Yeah. And now she's with them.
Carney, isn't it? It's the former Bank of England guy. Carney.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah, she's 41 today. Happy birthday, Katy Perry. Katy Perry. Do you know what her cat's called?
Katy.
Katy Perry.
Oh, it is. That's a guess.
Katy Perry. That's a great name for a cat. I don't know if the cat's still with us, but happy birthday, Katy Perry.
She can produce a tune, that's for sure.
She got some bangers. I'll give her that. Happy birthday to Miss Perry. Looking at today's back pages for you. All about Manchester United actually building up to the game tonight against Brighton. So Bruno Fernandes, I snubbed Saudis to win title with Manchester United is the headline in the Telegraph. Amorim slams Slot, United manager, I don't care what Arne Slot says about my team tactics, all about the long ball throwing. Semenyo is making the Times front page. Meet the Premier League's hottest properties. Just won the Player of the Month, and rightfully so. Back page of the Sun. Our brochure. He snubbed Saudi to win United Prem and Champions League.
Fair play to him. You know, you don't always have to go with him. Look, he's getting paid a king's ransom at Manchester United, so things ain't too bad. And he talks in the paper about, you know, how much money does his family need. And he's chose to say, I want to stay at Manchester United. Whether they end up winning the league under the time he's there, I don't know. At the moment, it doesn't look very likely. But fair play to him for staying in England.
Yeah.
In the Premier League.
And even that, like, kind of, in a way, is a bit more relatable to a fan base when somebody says, how much more money? I'm rich enough.
Yeah.
Why do I need that much money? You know, and to believe in the club and the team that he's in. It's refreshing to hear.
Well, it just brings it all down to earth again, doesn't it? Like, fans, obviously, no one can understand the grotesque money that football pays. It's just crazy. But that's what the game is.
Yep, exactly that. Let's talk about Anthony Gordon and Marcus Rashford, Cass, because England may have a good problem on their left side, as both Newcastle's Gordon and Barcelona's Marcus Rashford have been in fine form in the Champions League so far, despite not having registered a goal or assist in the Premier League yet this season. Gordon has scored 4 in the Champions League and was on target once during Newcastle's 3-0 win away against Benfica, whereas Marcus Rashford has also scored 4 goals in the Champions League and registered a goal and 3 assists in La Liga. So who's in pole position for you?
Well, Rashford played centre forward in midweek. He didn't play on the wing. And Anthony Gordon, I think at his very best, is one of the best options for England of his hunger, desire, which he's got a lot of. And he's also one of them players that he never stops running, he never stops chasing. And I think he's going to have competition on the left, but I don't think it's going to be by Rashford. I think Rashford's going to play a lot more centre forward because obviously Lewandowski at Barcelona is coming to the end of his time. He's 36, 37 now. Going for the Marcus in that centre forward position. He scored a brace in midweek, and I think that's where he'll play most of the year. Whether that persuades Thomas Tuchel to use him more on the left, I doubt. Rashford can play the centre forward position. It was quite interesting watching him do that this week because he's done it before. He's done it for Manchester United. He's played there a number of times. And people say he's better coming on the left, but quite clearly Barcelona think he's better playing down the middle.
Yeah.
I might use him on the left, but the manager, it's Hansi Flick, isn't it? Barcelona manager.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What does Anthony Gordon need to do? Does he need to just do a bit more in terms of the league?
No, I think he's doing brilliant. I think he's a real handful. He's direct. He wants to get to the byline. He'll produce crosses. He comes in, chips in with goals. I think Anthony Gordon's got a real hunger about him. I really like. Madueke can come in, when he's back fit for Arsenal. He's another player that looks like they could do a great job. England with Saka on the right side, he's absolutely the number one choice there. And he is played brilliantly again this year. His consistency has been extraordinary. Saka. So that England have choice. That's all you want as a manager. And whoever's in form will get the nod.
Well, this was discussed on talkSPORT Breakfast earlier on in the week, and our Gabby Agbon-Lahore had his take on the debate and who he would rather have supplying him as a striker.
I think with Rashford, you're probably going to get he's going to want to cut in and take more shots off. So I'll probably say Gordon as a striker, because I think you'll get more crosses into the box, maybe a bit more unselfish. Rashford likes to maybe creep into that centre-forward position and cut inside, and we know what he can do from outside the box. But what a problem to have. And let's not forget Jack Grealish, who's started the season off very well as well. You've got Eze off that side as well. But Marcus Rashford, for me, when you're doing it at a club like Barcelona, I think he's got 5 goals, 5 assists in 12 games so far for Barcelona. If he continues that sort of form, then it's going to be hard to choose for Thomas Tuchel.
Agree with Gabs?
I agree with Gabs in what type of winger I would prefer, and that would be the one that gets to the byline more often and produces crosses. He's right, Marcus does cut inside a hell of a lot. He's not a natural winger, Marcus Rashford. He's more like a centre-forward that comes onto his right foot when he plays out wide, and he does have lots of shots, but I would definitely go with more traditional winger that wants to get the ball in for centre-forwards.
Yeah. Like we say, either way, a very, very good problem for Thomas Tuchel to have.
Gordon can cut inside as well.
Yeah.
He can quite easily do that. He does it really well.
Right, here's what's coming up for you on talkSPORT today. Lots ahead for you. After us, Max and Charlie have the warm-up from 10 through to 1 o'clock, and then it's Adrian Durham. GameDay live with all of the goals as they go in from the Premier League and the EFL over on talkSPORT 2. Download the talkSPORT app, swipe across the talkSPORT 2. 2 more live championship clashes for you. Coventry City take on Watford at 12:30. Millwall face Leicester at 3 o'clock. Following that, you can have your say on the GameDay phone in 5:30. Jason Cundy and this man, Jamie O'Hara.
Join us for 5:30. GameDay phone in. Me and Jason Cundy are going to be taking your calls. 03717 223344.
Your eyes and ears up and down the country. Let us know what you've seen and heard. Get your calls in to me and him 5:30 live on GameDay phone in.
Looking forward to it, troops, and then it's a huge night of live sport here on the talkSPORT network. Strap yourself in. It all starts with Brentford versus Liverpool from the G-Tech, 8 o'clock here, live and exclusive Premier League commentary on talkSPORT before Fight Night arrives at 10 o'clock. Joseph Parker takes on Fabio Wardley at the O2 Arena. If you love your boxing, the undercard will be live over on talkSPORT 2 from 7:30. All coming up for you here on talkSPORT today, and on the way next on Weekend Breakfast, we're going to hear from the Truro fan who has made the epic trip to Gateshead. Good morning. Morning, it's Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. Some of your headlines over the weekend. Lando Norris admits McLaren are already a little bit behind following Friday practice at the Mexico Grand Prix after Red Bull's Max Verstappen's come out on top. Daniel Jebison completed a dramatic Preston comeback by scoring the winning goal against his former club Sheffield United in an enthralling 3-2 victory at the Deepdale last night. And ahead of his trips to Villa Park, City manager Pep Guardiola was asked whether he feels City are being overlooked in the title conversation.
Well, in the first 3 games, yeah, for sure we are out, and Liverpool is already done, and now it looks like Liverpool is done. And I tell you that they will be back. So I said many times, so I know that all the pundits, all the specialists, former players, they know everything is going to happen after 5 games. I'm not able to do that. So always I wait 10, 15 games to know exactly what is going on. But I think, obviously, Liverpool, Arsenal are there. Someone else will be there, and hopefully we can be there.
Is that Pep looking for a pity party?
It's quite strange, Pep. I've been a couple of press conferences when he can get spiky when he wants to. Yeah, and he's right to a degree that we do assess things way too quickly. You know, we do. We just naturally, our team's going to get relegated after 3 games. No. Are West Ham in trouble and clearly in big trouble? Yes, at the moment. We're through 9 games. You know, and so are Liverpool at the title race? No, of course they're not. They've still got big games and a lot of football to play. But there are signs that they are going to concede a lot of goals because data tells you that they've conceded 7 times in their 13 games, 2 goals, like I've said every week.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just what you're seeing.
Yeah. Man City go to Aston Villa tomorrow.
I was going to make a point here.
Yeah.
Quickly go on this one, right?
Go.
You know, the coaches, they shouldn't be really, in my opinion, judging how their team is doing, like with absolute certainty. Because you go for a meal, it's like saying to the cook, he judges the meal. Well, he's cooked it. Well, the proof of the pudding is the eater, the fan, the people who are watching it, is they're judging. Do you know what I mean by that? They are judges, and then there's not really a bias in there, where a manager will go on and say something about, you know, this and this. And I get it. You defend and you show loyalty. I get all of that. But City are not as good as what we've seen in years gone by when they were absolute certainties at times to win the league. We all knew it.
Yeah.
And everybody around knew it. Every other football club. Arteta's obviously is determined to make Arsenal as best as he can, but he knows how good City were. So he's got to go try and get to that.
Yeah. No.
Like Liverpool.
Yeah. It's a good point. And the thing is about tomorrow's game for Manchester City, they failed to win at Villa Park in the last 2 seasons, so it's a bit of a bogey team.
Yeah, I mean, Villa should have won in midweek. Watch the game. Honestly, Shebahn, how Villa didn't get something out of it, I don't know. They missed enough chances in the first half. But Villa, on their day, are a decent side. But City are capable, and no one can stop Ireland at the moment.
Yeah, and it's just also early, Cass. Like, I even feel the Liverpool, Mo Salah, it's all a bit like, everyone just take a giant chill pill, relax.
You have to take a step back. Yeah.
And this is the thing then, even when it comes to the bottom of the table, it's probably too early to rule West Ham to be relegated. And we've not even focused then on the fact that Leeds are up to 13th in the table. And what a good result then that was for them last night.
Yeah, and they deserved it.
3 points on the road.
Yeah, they deserved it. Their midfield is full of energy. They can all pass the ball. Yeah, and they defended well. I thought Leeds played really well at Burnley and they lost 2-0.
Yeah.
As in, they created a lot of chances, didn't take any of them. And Burnley were really good on the day as well. So, you know, the teams that have come up have had to look at the standard of what the Premier League's about. You know, and it's a massive challenge for these clubs that come up.
It's incredible. And again, the early word comes into it. But you look at where they are in the table. You know, Sunderland in 7th, Leeds in 13th. Burnley in 17th. You know, none of them are in that kind of the drop zone. So
no.
It's credit to how teams are competing when they come up to the Premier League, because the jump is just, you know, humongous.
Well, look how many changes the club's made. Loads of them that come up. Burnley, Leeds, you know, most definitely made loads of changes. So you've seen it. Sunderland made a huge amount of changes to their recruitment. So they've looked at it and gone, if we're going to stay up, we have to have a different calibre of player. And that, by the way, you could have seen in midweek with all the European games of how many hammerings there were to some sides that have fallen away because they can't keep up with the spending.
Yeah. Game Day Live today, by the way, at 3 o'clock here on talkSPORT. All of the updates coming from the games in the Prem today. Chelsea, Sunderland, Newcastle, Fulham. Looking at Newcastle in terms of their league form, quite a drop-off this season, isn't it, Cass?
Well, Eddie Howe said it in midweek. We've got to replicate our Champions League form and the way we played in the league.
Yeah.
Newcastle are a good side. So, they can hurt you. They've got a lot of pace in their side. And we talked about, obviously Gordon, but they got others, they've got great midfield in there. Newcastle will pick up, definitely.
Do you think Man United and Liverpool will pick up points tonight in their games?
Yeah, I mean, look, Brighton's a real toughie for Man United because Brighton have got so much energy and pace. And they really do drive from, they won there last year, didn't they, at Old Trafford? And I think, remember the game, they sort of, they just scared Man United with their pace and power. That's what Brighton do.
Yeah.
Liverpool got a tricky one at Brentford. Brentford, under Keith Andrews are doing really well. I surprised a lot of people how well they're doing.
By the way, I was thinking about the guy who's grown his hair, until he gets 5 games that Manchester United can win in a row. Because Cass used to be a hairdresser back when he was young, I think you should be the guy to cut his hair. We could do it live on talkSPORT. Could be fun.
No, I wouldn't recommend me.
Frank's his name, isn't it? You could do it.
No.
Just do it.
I never cut. I only learnt the basics of hairdressing. I did it for 18 months. I wasn't qualified.
Just lie.
You can't do
anything better than what Frank's Barnett's looking like just now. Be fine. Okay, it's time now for this. The time of the show, well, it's that time of the morning, isn't it? On a Saturday where you're getting in the car, you're making those drives to watch your beloved team and whoever they're taking on today. This is an absolute cracker for trips of the week. We're normally on the supporters' coaches. This morning, we're with Truro fans who have made their way to Gateshead for a 900-mile round trip, Cass. Jeez Louise. And for a trip as long as that, various methods are likely to be considered, as in like every method of transport has to be considered for this one. Very, very good morning to Truro fan John Joyce. Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, John.
Morning, yeah. Morning. Oh, yeah. I'm all right, thanks.
John, can I just ask you quickly? Are you nuts? I just think that there's crazy fans. I mean it in a lovely way where that just do the most ridiculous journeys to go and watch their team.
Well, I can't disagree with you there, mate. As I left the house yesterday, my daughter didn't say anything. She just looked at me and shook her head.
That says it all. That says it all.
Tell us your journey. Come on. This is a mad journey.
Yeah. Well, actually, we had we got the 13:44 train yesterday afternoon, and that was a bit of carnage. There was cancellations here, there, and everywhere. So we were changing where we didn't really plan to change, up to Bristol Airport, and then obviously it was the airport shuttle. So there's the bus covered. And then obviously the flight was 19:55 last night, getting in at 2100 at Newcastle. The metro into Gateshead to our digs, which I'm at now. So it was 13:45 train, and we got in our digs about 9:45 last night.
That's long. That was long.
An emotional journey.
How much are we talking, John? Like, how much have you spent on travel so far? And have a swig of coffee. You're going to need it.
Well, I can tell you exactly. So it was £108 for the flight,
right?
Which obviously varies prices depending on when you book it. So
40 quid a beer at the airport, yeah.
A bit more than that. We did come a Guinness man, so it's about £7.
Right.
So it was £33 for the single for the train, because one of the guys has actually left his car, so we're going to get a lift back tomorrow from Bristol Airport. So £33 plus, I should say this, plus 200 and a bit pound lost in a day's wages. Yesterday. So what we on now? We're on about 400, do we?
Yeah, 341. Yeah.
Yeah, hotel.
And that's before I bought a pint or a match ticket. That was £17.
Right.
And I've not even bought a pint or a burger yet.
Jeez, John, that is commitment. Fair play to you. And is it? I mean, it's worth it, right? You wouldn't do it differently.
Oh no! Do you know what? And I'm sure if you had all the players on, it's part and parcel of Truro City. I mean, our local derby's Yeovil, which is a 5-hour round trip.
I did.
So if you put into perspective that Yeovil Town is our Boxing Day derby, then we used to travelling. We're just used to it, and the players say the same. And it builds. Certainly the players have commented, and us fans do as well. It builds up the camaraderie. You get to know people, and what we call like your football friends. You've no idea like where they live, but you just know where they're going to be, and what they're doing, and the plans around the football, basically, So it does build that camaraderie up, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did say you may be definitely nuts with the journey you've done, but you actually sound a really level-headed guy.
You sound
that
cool.
is, even win or lose, that you'll go back and it's water off a duck's back to you, John.
It is. I've done a lot of travelling, Casamex. I did 30 years in the Royal Navy, so travelling, and it's actually for perspective. I worked for NATO for the last 6 years of my career in the Navy, and it was actually it was a shorter drive from Brussels back to Cornwall than it is Cornwall to Gateshead. That's perspective for you. I was actually quicker getting back from Brussels.
Listen, that's brilliant. Get yourself a quick nap before it all kicks off today, because you're going to need it. But John, good to speak to you. How do you think the game's going to go?
Oh well, yeah. We've got 1 point away. This, to be honest, everybody was frighteningly optimistic last night, which was quite alarming. Everybody was really thinking we're going to do it. If we're honest. Our away form, we got 1 point from 7 away games now, which was at Woking a couple of weeks ago. Gateshead had one of those teams that if we're staying in this league, we need to nick points off. So we'd be delighted with a point, but we've got to be looking at getting 3, to be honest with you. Yeah. And I think we've actually turned the corner. We're looking a bit more, dare I say, fitter. We're looking a bit more as if we got to grips with the league now. We're a bit rabbit in the headlights for the first 5 or 6 weeks.
Well, listen, good to talk to you.
Thanks very much.
Fair play to you for you and your mates
John.
doing that journey.
Yeah, no worries, thanks.
Take care of yourself. We'll be thinking about you when we see the result later on today. That's John Joyce, Truro fan, who's made 900-mile round trip. Planes, trains, cars, digs, all of it. That is commitment. You can let us know where you're heading today, what game you're heading to, and how long your journey is. 81089. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. Hello there, welcome along to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Bromley's finest and Celtic's Tony Cascarino. We've been sitting hammering people there in the video. You're getting it.
There's nothing better than getting something off your chest.
I'm all out this morning. Like West Ham fans, you can join us today. You can vent your frustrations at last night's performance. 03717 22 3344 is the number.
There is an upside to that.
What's that?
They were way better than they were on Monday.
Well, there you go.
There's the upside.
And fair play to Leeds. Yeah, they came back, to be fair, last night. It was a 2-1 defeat in the end against Leeds, which ensured their worst start to the season for 52 years. We just made it bad again. Daniel Jefferson completed a dramatic Preston comeback by scoring the winning goal against his former club, Sheffield United, in the enthralling contest, which ended 3-2. Did he celebrate? Did anyone know? Did he celebrate?
Yeah, I've watched quite a bit of it.
Did he celebrate?
Who?
The guy who scored against his former club.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it was a great goal. It was a header.
Nice.
Great header. I mean, Sheffield United were 2-0 up. It looked like getting to half-time and they conceded right in the death of the first half. Then straight away in the second half, it's 2-2 before they know it.
Yeah.
It was a bit like the final for them, where they were comfortable and it looked like they were only going to win. First 10 minutes were difficult for Sheffield United. But then after that, they got comfortable, 2-0 lead, looked like, no, we'll see the game through. And within just 1 minute before the end of the first half and 2 minutes into the start of the second half, they're 2-2.
Fair play.
You know, and they've ended up losing it. But there were chances, you know, a lot of chances in the game for both teams.
Good game, good job. And also Sean Dyche takes his first Premier League game in charge of Nottingham Forest. Tomorrow afternoon, they take on Bournemouth's side that's set third in the Premier League as of today. And Cherry's boss, Andoni Areola, knows how difficult it can be to face a team with a new manager.
I think we don't have a lot of references. I think the game past night against Porto could be the best reference we have, but we don't know if they are going to change it. The players, the change system, is difficult to prepare, but we have the advantage that we know very well the players that the Forest have, and we know very well also normally how Sondag's team perform and compete, and we kind of been preparing, considering these two things. We have to focus in ourselves. I think they are a very good team. They showed it past night. They were, I think, very, very, very solid yesterday, and I think looks from the outside looks like a good fit. Sondage with this Forest team. It doesn't change too much from the style that was so successful past season for them, and they've started really well with the first game, but I hope we can make them a more difficult game on Sunday.
Yep, tomorrow Bournemouth take on Nottingham Forest at 2:00. Cass, Deitch, by the way, in the week getting that win against Porto. What do you make of that?
Yeah, delighted for him, and he's got a tough job. He's got to try and turn it around in the league now. And they're going up against one of the best teams I've seen this season, if not the best team I've seen. Against Crystal Palace last week for 60 minutes, Bournemouth were phenomenal. And if they did it at Spurs, by the way, as well for 60 minutes. They can take it to anybody and cause them problems, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
They're a really good side. I don't think they've got the squad that could get them to 90 minutes and make all the changes because you have so many substitutions now. But they're a dangerous side. And Sean Dyche will absolutely be all over knowing how good they can be.
I mean, incredible momentum, incredible form. I mean, what a surprise package they've been so far this season. Like you say, still early doors. But, I mean, looking at where they are now in the table, the results that they've had, what do you think their ambitions are for this season?
I don't know. I don't know their ambition because this club is punching so far above its weight. A club that can get 11,000 fans in the stadium and that's it. They sold £200 million worth of players in the summer.
Yeah.
And there they are. They're third in the table. They're above Liverpool. And I would argue that they've already given points away because they did it at Spurs and they did it at Anfield early in the season. They lost 4-2. They were great for long periods of the game. And they did it against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are a really well-organised team. And yet, for an hour, they couldn't match at all what Bournemouth were doing to them.
Yeah.
And eventually got a 3-3 draw and could have won it at the death. But what a good game it was.
Yeah, Antoine Semenyo, by the way, all over the papers today. He's just got the Premier League Player of the Month. Yeah. I mean, what a player he's been. And actually the stories, Alison Rudd from the Times has sat down with him and done this full interview. He said, I was so fed up of being rejected. I quit at 15 to be a normal kid. He's a keen basketball player as well. But he's in a really, really good state of mind when you listen to his interviews.
Tell you what, one thing I never knew, I just was sitting there watching him against Crystal, how good defensively he was with headers. Yeah. The amount of headers he cleared for Bournemouth in defensive moments, corners, long throws, and then his strength, upper body strength is brilliant. His willingness to have the ball, technically sound, quick, eye for a goal. He's got a hell of a lot about him, that Semenyo.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely brilliant and deservedly so. Fair play to him. Don't forget Game Day Live exclusively here with our Adrian Durham today, going around the grounds from the Premier League, the EFL and beyond. At 1 o'clock this afternoon, he's going to be here keeping you across all of the games. And don't forget, we've got Brentford against Liverpool live for you here on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock tonight. Coming up next on Weekend Breakfast, we'll look into the Premier League action for you this weekend.
after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embraced the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Good morning, let's go. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall striker Tony Cascarino. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Coming up for you today, Manchester United take on Brighton at 5:30. Ruben Amorim was asked how his side can move on from that excellent win at Anfield without losing the rhythm.
We need to understand that football changed a lot, especially in this kind of club. So we are not thinking in the last game. We are thinking on this game is going to be really hard to win.
Updates from Old Trafford at 5:30 this evening here on talkSPORT. Chelsea take on Sunderland at Stamford Bridge at 3 o'clock. And after their midweek win over Ajax, boss Enzo Maresca says he's enjoying working with the club's young talent.
I said many times that they are all good players, talented players. And the main thing for me is just to try to help them day by day, how they can get better and better. And also, for me personally, it's the only way to improve the team if you are able to improve players.
We will keep you posted on that game on GameDay Live today here on talkSPORT. And Liverpool head to the G-Tech tonight to take on Brentford. Live for you here at 8 o'clock. Liverpool manager Arne Slot hopes his side can find the clinical edge they showed in their 5-1 thrashing against Frankfurt.
I said many times against United and against Frankfurt, from open play we generated the same amount of chances. But the difference was that we didn't concede a set piece, but we scored 2 set pieces.
West Ham fans, we want to hear from you this morning. Seriously, after that result against Leeds last night, are you worried? Is relegation on the cards, or is it too soon? Can Nuno turn it around? 03717 223344. Get yourself some therapy this morning with Tony Cascarino. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. So coming up in the Premier League today, Tony, Chelsea, Sunderland, Newcastle, Fulham are at 3 o'clock. 5:30 tonight. Man United, Brighton, and then Brentford, Liverpool live for you here on talkSPORT. You're at the Chelsea Sunderland game, right?
Chelsea Sunderland. Looking forward to it today.
What are you expecting?
Well, I'm there really. I go with an open mind to see what I want to talk about, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Sunderland because what they've done been pretty incredible. The amount of changes they've made, and also there's the young element of Chelsea, which have excelled. Chelsea have got a really good side. We know that. You watch Chelsea play. There are final bits of the jigsaw you could probably say that need to be implemented.
What is that?
They've lost so many centre halves to injury, so it's hard to say. And then if you go back to when they've had, Thiago when he was there, Thiago Silva was an absolutely stalwart for Chelsea. A real experienced guy at the back who just Marquinhos does it brilliantly for PSG, where he just the older statesman and has a young team around him, but he guides them all. I think Chelsea need that, and obviously Colwell's been injured, who's an England international. They've had Fafana be injured, Badestil has been injured. They've had loads of injury problems at the heart of their defence. I think with all their youth, I think a very experienced. I'm surprised they didn't go after Mark Gahey. I know he'd been there as a kid, and could they have got that deal done? Maybe not. I just was surprised. I thought he would fit in brilliantly for them.
Both are similar in terms of young talent, and that's the thing about Sunderland with their captain, somebody with that experience.
Yeah.
Do you think Chelsea are lacking in a little bit?
Sunderland have got that because they've got Granit Xhaka.
That's what I'm saying. So they've got that.
They've got that with the younger legs because they are much more of an athletic team, and they come up with a lot of transfers, and they got players that have done well in the Championship but still involved at the football club. Ballard, done well at centre half. You've had Isidore as well. They've got a few. They're a good side.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Chelsea Sunderland today. We will have you covered on talkSPORT from 3 o'clock with all of the updates from that game. Also, Newcastle Fulham is the other 3 o'clock game in the Premier League. Newcastle versus Fulham at St James's Park. The Magpies, of course, picked up the epic win in the Champions League midweek. Thrashed Benfica 3-0 thanks to a goal from Anthony Gordon and 2 from Harvey Barnes. Newcastle really starting to kick into gear. They need to do the same in terms of their league form. We can speak to a Newcastle fan and talksport.com writer Jack Cunningham. Good morning, Jack.
Hi,
Good
Jack.
morning. How are you both doing? You good?
Oh,
yes, it's
smashing,
good, Jack.
Thanks.
Jack, I wanted to ask you because, watching you take on Benfica in midweek and win so comfortably, and you've really stood out in the Champions League, and Eddie Howe talked about replicating that sort of form. Newcastle have been really close to it, haven't they?
Yeah, I think if you look at the table, it's 15th in the table, so you'd be looking at it thinking, right, that's pretty worrying. But actually, the performances have been nowhere near that bad. I mean, I don't think Newcastle have the points they deserve from the start of the season, to be honest. I was actually a lot more concerned last season, where Newcastle had much more points, but the performances were worse. And eventually, it all caught up with us. And by 15 games into the season, Newcastle were 11th and went to Brentford and lost 4-2. And at that point, I remember there was a few people that started questioning Eddie Howe. And then Newcastle finished 5th and had one of the best second half of the seasons in anywhere in Europe. So it all just clicked into gear at one point last season. At this point of this season, 8 games in, 9 points, 7 goals scored, 7 goals conceded. Yeah, most people would be a little bit worried, especially what Newcastle have achieved over the last 3 years. But equally, the performances aren't like that at all. I'm very confident that if Newcastle win today, they will go 2 points behind Sunderland, who everyone's talking about how good Sunderland have started this season, rightly so. But equally, you'll only be 2 points behind. Also, only be 3 points behind Liverpool before they play Brentford as well. So it's all one of those things where it all come together. Last week against Brighton was a bit disappointing. First half, we were really, really poor. But then the second half was a strong performance. And the Danny Welbeck goal, I mean, the ball couldn't have landed any more perfectly for him after the Dan Burn tackle. Like, it was literally just on a plate for him to put it into the back of the net. So it was just a bit of luck went against us there. And then it does just feel like it is going to start coming together. And when it does, Newcastle will be absolutely fine and will have a really strong year. I'm totally convinced.
Well, you look at your forward line and wherever you want to go, obviously Anthony Gordon, you've got Murphy, Harvey Barnes can chip in, and then you've got centre forward Voldemaiden, who's coming. Tell her how you felt about this, how he's done, because he's got a lot about him. I think Newcastle's fans are going to be surprised over the course of the season about his ability.
No, definitely, Tony. I've got to be honest, I don't think there was any striker who was actually under more pressure than Waldemar, simply because of the circumstances of Isak leaving. But then equally, Visser got injured immediately. So it was like he got thrown straight in against Wolves. And I don't think Eddie Howe would have done that. I think Eddie Howe would have played Visser because of the Premier League experience. And it wouldn't have been Waldemar who would have started. That's not usually how Howe operates with players who've come from foreign leagues. So I think he was immediately under intense pressure, and he's adapted to the Premier League so well. It looks like he's played in it his whole career. Every game he's played in, he's been good. He's been involved in pretty much every single goal we've scored. He scored some brilliant goals as well. I mean, that back heel last weekend, that was unbelievable. And what a finish. Genuinely, this guy, I am so happy with him. I'm watching this player, and he just seems to suit Newcastle perfectly, because the way Newcastle play, they need their striker involved in the gameplay at all times. We're not a team who can really just leave the forward up front and then create the chances for him like that. We don't play like that. The striker needs to be involved and get others into the game. And his hold-up play is on another level. The way he can just drag players in, get past them. Even against Arsenal, Gabriel and Saliba at the back, although it was actually Mosquera, and he got substituted at half-time because Waldemar was giving him a torrid time and Saliba came on. And Newcastle did lose that game, but Waldemar was brilliant. And it's just been such a perfect start for him. And I'm so happy that it's going well for him, because he seems like a really lovely bloke as well.
Yeah.
But equally,
Would you swap him for
imagine how
Isak?
much pressure he's on.
Yeah, good.
Would I swap him for Isak? Who's he? Who's that? He's doing well, isn't he? He's had a good start.
Are you
This has got as
surprised?
many goals as him.
Are you surprised, by the way, about Isak and how he's not quite hit the ground running at Liverpool? Okay, it took him a while to get match fit, but are you surprised?
I think that you can't just sack off a whole pre-season and 3 Premier League games to the start of the season and then expect to go to the Premier League champions and be back at your peak levels. Newcastle are one of the fittest teams in the Premier League. The pre-season would have been extremely intense. It would have got him up to a level of fitness. And I just don't understand how he can even feel that it was possible. And let's be fair, I don't think actually Liverpool fans probably expected it. However, now Arne Slot said he's fully fit, that is where the issue is coming in. And you're watching him in games, and I just think another thing is I feel like Newcastle, especially Jacob Murphy. So Murphy and Isak combined for the most Premier League goals together last season. And it was basically Murphy putting the ball on a plate for Isak, because his whole game plan was, I'm going to get the ball, I'm going to find Alex, and Alex is going to score. I'm watching him for Liverpool. I don't think that Salah, Vates, Gakpo are really doing that. I don't think they're giving much service, especially against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. There was a few times Isak was in behind, Salah ignored him, just had a shot, and you could see he was getting frustrated. And it feels like, because he's not the star man anymore, maybe he's not going to get as many chances, weirdly. At Newcastle, the whole game plan was set up for Alexander Isak to score goals.
You're right.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Prediction for today, please, then, Newcastle?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I think Newcastle will win. Newcastle did lose to Fulham twice last season, actually, but Newcastle will win. I'm going to go 2-0.
Oh, could be the bogey team.
They lost their last 3 in the Premier League, didn't they, Fulham?
Yeah. Jack Cunningham, writer at talkSPORT, thank you so much for your time this morning.
No worries, pleasure.
Cheers,
I think you have a
Jack.
great
Bye-bye.
moment. Cheers.
Have yourself a brilliant day. Coming up next here on Weekend Breakfast, it's Cappuccino with Tony Cascarino. Get the kettle on, people. Hello there, good morning. This is Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Fair play if you're listening on the radio. If you want, you can watch us on your smart TV, on the YouTube channel. Cappuccino with Tony Cascarino is coming up in just a moment. You can share with us how you listen and watch Tony Cascarino in the kitchen, kettle on. There's a good story on the way in just a second. Earlier this week, Liverpool legend Sir Kenny Dalglish spoke to our Angelina Kelly from talkSPORT at the premiere of his new documentary and asked him about the endearing moment during last week's North West Derby that saw him sharing chocolate buttons with former rival and fellow knight Sir Alex Ferguson.
Fergie, we get chocolate buttons, Cadbury's chocolate buttons, right? Fergie took them and they were meant for me. But what he never knew is I had another one in my pocket.
You're all right then.
So was he.
I know, robbing your chocolate.
Well, I don't mind sharing.
I love it. Fergie took them. He's just great. That was the cutest thing. I mean, why is that so cute, these two eating chocolate buttons?
Well, I mean, look, they would have had their conflicts along the years, being Liverpool manager and obviously Fergie being Manchester United manager, and you know, they'd have clashed at times. Yeah. I can remember over the saga with Roy Keane, Liverpool trying to get Roy Keane to go. Oh, sorry, Kenny Dalglish getting Roy Keane to go to Blackburn when Man United jumps in there and got Keane to Manchester United.
Yeah.
And Dalglish being fuming with Keane, which he openly talks about. But they'd have had clashes, Dalglish and Fergie.
And then just sharing a wee chocolate button just looked like it was all water under the bridge. But they've not even got the best kind, because don't get me wrong, Dairy Milk chocolate buttons are fine, right? They're a go-to, they're a good chocolate. But you need to get the ones with a caramel in the middle. Yeah. Have you had those ones?
I've had many types of Cadbury chocolate.
There you are.
Didn't they sell out to an American company?
Who, Cadbury?
Yeah.
Did they?
I think they did, and they changed the ingredients.
They did?
They've made them even more Moorish, but I wouldn't say that. Sometimes some chocolate can be a little bit too sickly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I could smash a bag of those buttons.
Yeah,
2 minutes flat.
Yeah. Well, there's not many in them now, though, is there?
And then when you get the bigger ones,
you get the giant bag and nothing in them.
I know. Shrinkflation, it'll get you.
And
guys.
Expensive.
Right now, it's time for this.
A cappuccino with Cascarino on the Weekend Sports Breakfast. I say.
There's a bit of a Scottish blend in your coffee this morning, Cass, and it is about your childhood hero, King Kenny, this story today.
Yeah.
Please share.
My story? Well, I was Kenny Dalglish in the playground. That was who I wanted to be. Because when I was a teenager, going through the 70s, Liverpool, my team. Liverpool had Kevin Keegan, who was my first hero. Then when I first started, having a real affection for Liverpool, and when he left to go to Hamburg, I was absolutely devastated, like most of Liverpool fans at the time. And then King Kenny come, and it was unreal from day one.
Yeah.
His partnership with Ian Rush. And I miss partnerships, by the way. I really miss them in football because, Dalglish and Russ was probably one of the greatest partnerships ever. And, could put Bergkamp and Henry in there. Great partnerships.
Yeah.
And Dalglish was that to me. He was, a player that Rush excelled because of Kenny. I met Kenny once because I met his daughter, Kelly.
Yeah.
And she mentioned in the book I'd mentioned her dad. And then I met Kenny at a function. I can't remember exactly where we were, but there was a lot of people there, and someone I knew said hello to Kenny, and I said hello, but I felt really, I didn't say hardly anything because I knew, because I played with Liverpool players like Staunton, Whelan, Dalglish, Aldridge, I knew Mark Lawrence, and a lot of others, players who I played with, Ray Houghton. I knew that Kenny was very dry. So I didn't want to put myself in a position where I think he's going to take the mickey out of me. Do you know what I mean? He knows I'm a fan of his. He was my hero. The only thing I had in common with Kenny is I had a big backside like Kenny. Kenny was 5'8", and I was 6'3". I had a big backside always, and Kenny did as well.
Really?
That's the only thing I had in common with him.
Would you say you were starstruck by Kenny?
Yeah, you do. I mean, he was fine. He was great. He was really, down-to-earth guy, not a problem at all. Didn't feel like he had an aura, but he had an aura because he didn't even try to have. It's Kenny Dalglish. So, and of course, I have a bias. It's my team. It's him, and just his career and as a player. He was a fabulous footballer.
Yeah.
And I was at the game when he scored at Wembley in '78, when he scored to win the European Cup, which is the Champions League now, when Graham Souness slipped him a ball and he chipped it, dinked it over the keeper. I was at that game at Wembley. So I've got great memories of Dalglish. I was at the 7-0 game against Spurs, because Dalglish came in '77. I think it's '77 because Keegan had left. But yeah, loads of great memories. I went to Chelsea right at the end of his career and they played in the Cup, and Chelsea... Liverpool won 4-2 and Dalglish was playing and he was about 36. Just like couldn't believe how good he was still.
Yeah, I was actually at an event last weekend, wasn't it? The Celtic FC Foundation event, and I was hosting it in London, and King Kenny's the table in front of the stage with his family, and you're right, he's got an aura because he doesn't even care to try.
No, he doesn't.
You know, he's just there, he's with
low key
family, he's got his other daughter was there, what a beautiful girl she is, his wife, and they're all having a good time, and they were joking with Gordon Strachan about who's got the better quiz team at their La Manga quiz, annual quiz kind of that goes on, and he was just delightful, you know. He's got.
I can imagine when he has to be. Kenny could be really feisty.
Oh, I would imagine.
Have you watched him play? It's a bit like Bergkamp. A lot of people. Bergkamp was one of them players that was a bit unnoticed about his physical side, but the amount of people he got stuck into, Bergkamp.
Absolutely.
Dalglish was exactly the same.
Yeah.
He'd leave his foot in, he'd battle his way, you know, he was a right fighter on the pitch.
Yeah, they were showing some of his highlights as well. I mean, truly King Kenny, you know, unbelievable. And actually, then just that footage of them last week sharing a bag of chocolate buttons.
Yeah.
It's the wholesome stuff.
Only played for Celtic and Liverpool.
I know.
I mean, that in itself, you know, didn't drop down any levels, got the job to be manager at Liverpool. 100 caps for Scotland, just over 100, I think.
Yeah.
He's got, Kenny. No, he was, to me, he was my, like I said, there's many people who you know, we could say to who were you in the playground? We could ask, you know, I wanted to be Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah, I think so many people of your era would completely agree. You know, they modelled themselves or pretended they were him, and you can completely understand why. I model myself on him when it comes to eating chocolate. It's very, very similar. That was a nice story. That was Cappuccino with Cascarino. Going to change the tone. Next on Weekend Breakfast, we're going to be talking about timber sports. Stay with us. Morning. Good morning, it's Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. Some of your headlines this morning as you're waking up and getting in and about this Saturday. Sheffield Wednesday boss Henrik Pedersen is confident they can survive in the Championship despite being... Oh, my screen's just gone off. Penalised for going into administration. The divisions left you hanging there, didn't I? Despite being penalised for going into administration. The division's bottom side going to this lunchtime's game at West Brom on -6 points after a 12-point deduction. Submit me for a award-winning something there. That was unbelievable. Luke Littler and Luke Humphreys both breezed into the second round of the European Championship in Germany with emphatic victories, and Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim says he isn't reading too much into the Liverpool win, insisting one result doesn't define his team.
We cannot change so much. I think they asked me about top 4 in the end of the question, so I don't want to change so much with the difference of 20 centimeters. If Gakpo shot 20 centimeters here, the narrative would be completely different. So I just want to maintain some calm, some direction in what we are doing. That's what I mean. There is doubts. If you are a manager in this kind of club, you don't win a lot of games, people are going to doubt you, and they have reasons for that. But my point of view is that we need to be clear on our path and not changing so much because we win one game. That's all.
Ruben Amorim, what was that? Sorry.
No, he was talking about 20 centimetres.
Oh. He was holding up his hand going, how big's that? I don't know, 12 inches? I don't
No.
know.
What's funny there is, what made me laugh was that, the difference. I mean, Gakpo hit the woodwork 3 times in the game.
Yeah, it could have been very different. He knows that.
But there was a lot of positives about the performance. They clearly done a number on Liverpool. OK, Liverpool didn't take the chances that he did have. Mo Salah had some great opportunities in the game, especially the one at the end at the far post where 9 times out of 10 Mo Salah scores.
Yeah.
But take some heart out of the last 2 victories. I saw them play Sunderland. I thought it's the best I've seen Man United play in the first 45 minutes was against Sunderland.
I completely agree. And listen, credit to Ruben Amorim. See the players he's brought in. They look so strong. He's recruited well, and I think that shows that he knows what he wants for this club and he knows what he's doing. And we're going to speak about Man United in more detail because they've got writing a little bit later on tonight. But when he always, I think, makes the right sounds. He says the right things. He's come off the back of that win and he knows himself, had Gakpo's gone in, it would have been a very different result. But I also think even if that had happened, Man United were in the right frame of mind. They were playing the right way. And yeah, they did a job on Liverpool. So, they still could have won it.
I mean, look, when you're a Manchester United manager, it can be a week later a completely different story. Can't it? So if they got beat today by Brighton, there would all be doom and gloom. That's where they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have to go on a convincing run. And with that, performance, some clubs it doesn't matter if performance, it's just about results. And now you can argue that case for Manchester United and other clubs. Yeah, it's about results. But performance is massive for the biggest clubs.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be at Barcelona and Real Madrid and not have performance with wins. And it's the same with Liverpool, Manchester United, the top 6 in England. It has to come with performance. And it was one of the reasons why I said to you, Liverpool at the start of the season, their position was false. Shebahn, because their performance didn't match their victories, and at the biggest clubs they have to. It's just a different theme.
I'd say today has to be the best performance from Manchester United. Today might be the biggest test for Ruben Amorim.
It's going to be a hard game because of the way Brighton play.
Yeah,
they're a hard side to play against. They've got incredible energy in their team, so it's going to be a challenge for them.
Yeah. Do you think the penny's starting to drop with the players?
I think he's slowly getting something together. It's still a long way from being a team that you sort of go, well, next step is Champions League for sure. I think that's still a long way off. But it feels like there's been a wind of change of some level at Manchester United.
Yeah.
And I think they can, if they come away with a victory against Brighton today and have a performance to show that, you're starting to convince people you're turning it around.
Absolutely. I mean, at some point it had to be more actions. than just saying the right things. We saw the actions of the last couple of games. I'm even loving the likes of our chief football correspondent Alex Crook has to apologise now. He's actually apologising to Ruben Amorim.
There's still a lot of people are not convinced that this long term is going to work, but it's for him as a manager to prove people wrong.
Exactly that. Fingers crossed it can continue. Man United against Brighton, 5:30 tonight. All of the updates coming up for you on GameDay Live with Adrian Durham here on talkSPORT. Now, something a little bit random, a little bit different on the Weekend Breakfast Show. Timber Sports.
And I used to go chop, 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 chop. I just used to chop it back over the net.
Oh, Ali McCoy loves a bit of chop, chop, chop. But this is the first ever female member of Team GB at the Timber Sports World Championships. It takes place this weekend in Milan. Rachel Farrington joins the show now. Good morning, Rachel.
Rachel.
Morning.
Hi, how are you, Rachel? Timber Sports. Am I thinking you just you're chopping wood? You're just chopping through wood?
Yeah. There's 4 different disciplines. So there's 2 chopping disciplines, 1 sawing discipline, and then 1 with the chainsaw as well.
Oh wow.
So, Rachel, how did you get into this? Because it seems such a, just an odd thing to be able to. It's obviously like sport because the amount of energy I'm sure you use to chop trees. I mean, anyone who's done it will know.
Yeah, it was a real sliding doors moment for me. I'd always gone to our local gym. I got to know one of the guys there. I had no idea what his history was. I passed him on the street in town one day, and after hello, the next question was, have you ever chopped any wood? Which I thought was a bit bizarre.
And then what happened?
So I took his number and I met him at the local training centre. It turns out he's been chopping wood for 30 years. He'd obviously seen me in the gym and seen I had a competitive streak a mile wide. And yeah, he's basically still training me out of the goodness of his heart.
Wow. And it's, this sounds ridiculous, but Timber Sports, it's a proper sport. You're going into a championship. I mean, how do you prepare for it? Is it just chopping as much wood as you can in record times?
The way the competition worked yesterday, it was like a 4-man relay team. So it works that the chainsaw starts the competition off. You cut 1 disc of wood from the end of a log, which sets off the next discipline, which is the underhand, where somebody stands on the log. And then once that's finished, it goes to the sawing discipline. So there's a 6-foot long saw, and the guy's got to cut again a disc of wood as fast as he can. And then that finishes with the standing block, which is the upright piece of wood that you chop from the side. So it's 4 different people on the stage all working together, and I was there to do the chainsawing bit.
Well, Rachel, it's obviously very, very physical, but I'm sure you'd tell us that it's very technical as well.
100%. You spend a long time just learning the technique, getting the mechanics of the swing right, and also, making sure that you're not going to chop your own toes off in the process.
Yeah.
And then once you've really got the technique, obviously strength helps, but it's not the be-all and end-all. If you've got speed, if you've got technique, and then you add strength to that, that's sort of the golden ticket, really.
So did you partake? You were taking part in it yesterday. How did it all go?
The team did amazingly well. The team got a personal best, and we came 7th out of the world, and I think we were 3rd or 4th in Europe. So it was a really, really incredible competition for the team. Unfortunately for me, the stock saw is renowned for being the most. It can be very frustrating because there's so many very small technical elements that can go wrong. I got on stage and I started my saw. It had been sat there for a while because one of the blocks had to be reset. I picked up the saw, put on the throttle, and the saw just died in my hands.
No.
So it was a real test of my my resolve, really. I had to restart the saw a couple of times, still cut a disc of wood, didn't get disqualified, but we were just a few seconds slower than we would have liked to have been. All in all.
Tell us, obviously, there's people who are the very best. Is it the Canadians? Is it the Americans? Or there was surprise? Tell us, who's the best at this, or the number 1 target?
Australia.
Really?
Australia.
They've been the world champions for the last, I think it's 9 years or something. They just get faster and faster every year. They have this innate ability to they're awesome, basically. The Canadians are also one of the top teams. New Zealand, America are really hard to beat as well. So you know, we were against the best of the best over yesterday's competition, and the guys did amazingly well.
Brilliant. I just love hearing about different sports like this and different events. It's so interesting. Rachel, do you do this on the side? Is it more of your job, or do you have another job day to day?
Yeah, no, so my full-time job is actually to look after a castle. But yeah, so the chopping is something I do in the evenings, on the weekend, and just try and train as much as I can. But you know, it's expensive. It's obviously very physically demanding, so I have to do a lot of fitness around the chopping as well, just to make sure I'm up to it.
I love that you can just put that on your castle CV. Good with a chainsaw. I mean, it's so remarkable and so different as well. Rachel, fair play to you. Thanks for sharing your story with us this morning.
Yeah, brilliant.
No problem. Thank you.
Good luck in training today. Chopping away.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Rachel Ferriton there from the female member of the Team GB at Timber Sports. It was the World Championships yesterday in Milan. It's great.
Mad, isn't it?
So.
I hope her castle's haven't got a wood bridge. She's chopping it down.
Chopping the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Just imagine her and her chainsaw breaking on stage yesterday and she's going crazy. Yeah, damn thing! Try to restart.
I've watched a couple of these type of events. I've watched them and now literally charging around the stage like you wouldn't believe.
I think I've got a phobia of chainsaws.
Oh.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just when I was young, that came out, and I think it just made me think, oh no.
Wasn't that based on the true story?
Oh God.
I think it was. Honestly, I think it was based on the true story. Someone always tells us anyway. They're listening.
That's brutal, isn't it? By the way, have you been watching that new series on Net? No, you don't watch TV, do you? You just watch sport.
What, called Football?
Yeah, no, not that one. The Netflix one, Monsters. See, you know,
I've seen it advertised. Yeah,
he's running about. Yeah, Ed Gein. He's running about chopping wood. Mother.
Oh yeah.
I was told I shouldn't be friends with you anymore. Yeah. Oh, that's a mad story. I love that she just chops wood and wins and stuff like that. I should get into something like that. Anyway, that was random, but we like it. Coming up next for you on Weekend Breakfast, we'll get back to the football and speak to Georgia assistant coach and tactics expert David Webb next. You better chop your wood.
Is this Amy Stewart?
It is Amy Stewart, yeah. What a random sport to have on the side.
Yeah.
If you could do one other random sport, what would it be?
Oh. What? I can't pick golf, can I?
Well, you do that anyway. And you're useless, pal. You're useless.
I don't know. I think I'd have... I mean, it's become all the rage, but I think paddle I'm going to have to get into to some degree.
I need to get into it too.
Because it's literally everywhere now.
I'm back running, but I want to have a hobby. Like badminton or something with the girls would be fun, or volleyball for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a hobby now, because I'm just turning into an old woman with no pals.
You're not. How could you consider yourself old?
Just looking for sympathy, really. Looking for a change.
You're not even close to it.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Like, I just now go for a run.
But there's so many different types of sports.
But team sports are so good for you.
Yeah.
And competitive and all that. I'm becoming that mum. It's like, it's the taking part that counts. When I was young, it'd be, you're winner, you're rubbish.
Rowing.
No.
Skiing. Oh, but it's always downhill, isn't it, from there?
Oh my God, we're here all day, people. Well, till 10 o'clock anyway. It's Weekend Breakfast at Shebahn and Tony Cascarino with you. Some of your headlines this morning. Northern Ireland women have it all to do in the second leg of their Nations League promotion relegation playoff as they suffered a 2-0 loss to Iceland at the Ballymena Showgrounds yesterday. By the way, Iceland are good. Very, very good team. Katie McCabe scored a hat-trick as the Republic of Ireland beat Belgium in the first leg of the Nations League promotion playoff in Dublin last night. My sister got her 92nd cap for Ireland last night.
Wow.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. They won 4-2 in the end against Belgium.
How many games is she playing in a year? Because obviously there's tournaments when you get probably more games to play. So it's the games that she accumulates internationally in the year.
Good question. Is it something like it could be 7?
Well, it could be. It's normally between 7 and 12. Obviously, if you're in a competition, it adds more games, doesn't it?
She's not. I mean, she didn't start. She didn't take, in the last camp. I don't think she played. I think the 2 games. So yeah, she dropped. She definitely dropped caps there. But I mean, her dream is 100. Yeah. But we're 35 now, so clock's ticking, hon.
Got a chance. 7's very close.
Yeah, very, very close. 8 o'clock tonight, Brentford take on Liverpool, live for you here on talkSPORT. Yesterday, Liverpool boss Arne Slot spoke about Mo Salah's recent dip in form.
Players miss chances, and Mo is a human being as well, so we're not used to him missing chances, let alone a few games in a row, but these things can happen. What could have to do with, I have no clue if it does, but I could come up with it's easier maybe to finish a chance if you're 3-1 up than if you're 1-0 down. But maybe that's completely not true for him, but good. But I think the main thing is that Mo has always scored his goal for our club. And the last thing I worry about is Mo starting to score goals again, because that's what he done his whole life. And that's what I expect him to do in the upcoming weeks and months for our club as well.
So big result against Frankfurt. Mo Salah subbed off in that game. Do you think this dip in form, Mo, has been massively blown out of proportion, or have you got genuine concerns for Salah?
No, you'd have to have concerns. If you want to speak honestly about it, Mo set a very high standard, which he's been phenomenal at over a long period of time. But if you're anywhere and you start missing chances and you miss them on a regular basis, then, managers have to make decisions.
Yeah.
Now, the decision will be tonight at Brentford, because if Mo's not in the lineup, that's telling you the manager has got a much bigger. He's been very loyal there and being very, trying to be supportive towards Mo Salah. Mm-hmm. But if he decides to leave him out tonight at Brentford away, I'm not so sure that's totally up front.
Yeah, you make a good point. Alisson, as we know, is out injured, which means in comes Liverpool's number 2 keeper, Georgi Marmadashvili. And somebody who works with him is the Georgia assistant coach, is David Webb. David is with us now. Good morning, David.
Hi, David.
Good morning, guys.
Oh, you've got the worst job in the world if you work for a goalkeeping coach, because the goalkeepers are scrutinised more than any other position on the pitch, I think.
Yeah. I think with Mama, he's coming and doing quite well with Liverpool at the minute. I know he was keen back in January when we was having discussions about him joining, because he was even asking me about how to use some of the English terminology for to get used to like how he can organise his defence, how he can play through midfield, and just using some of that wording that he can help him. So I knew he was really dedicated and keen to come back then.
Yeah. So, obviously you've worked with him for Georgia and as assistant coaches, and I know that relationship is always a very tight one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, my role is Georgia is sort of assistant coach. So I work with sort of most of the players, but I know our goalkeeping coach works closely with him. And Georgie's got a great temperament. He's got a great character, and I know his start at Liverpool has been good, but I know by his personal standards that he would have liked it to have been stronger. But he's a tremendous goalkeeper. He's got all the attributes to go on to be sort of top, and I think his start at Liverpool has been, for him, he would have liked it to have been a lot stronger, but give him more time, give him more games, and I'm sure you'll see how good he really is.
Yeah. In terms of Georgia as well, how did that role come around for you, David? And also this is being considered as a little bit of a golden generation for Georgia with the likes of Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unusual one, isn't it? An English coach going to Georgia as assistant coach, but I've been in football a long time, so I guess throughout my career you develop really good relationships. And the head coach, Willy Sagnol, was Tony will probably know him quite well from that era. That he was a top player, played for Bayern Munich, France, and when I was head of recruitment at Tottenham 10 years ago, he was technical director of the French Federation under-21 coach, and we actually met at a game. And we just started chatting, and we sort of had a good understanding of sort of football and how we like the game to be played. And he had a good affiliation with England because his wife's English. So, and we just kept in contact throughout throughout the years. So when he came over, we met for coffees and kept in contact. And after I finished my sort of manager spell at York, I just had a phone call from Willie and say, "Look, would you like to join the team? We're looking to add someone." Who's got sort of a range of competencies and skills, like with yourself on the coaching side, that can work with the team on the mentality side, and offered us the role back in 2023, which I was delighted to accept.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of players, especially sort of the Eastern Bloc area, that English is well spoken. So, have you learnt Georgian, or are you doing a bit of both?
We coach in English, Tony. So
right.
My Georgian is not so strong. I've learned some of the good words, like
the slang.
The slang, and this word kachapui, which is a really nice bread with cheese in, which is their sort of Georgian traditional food. So I picked that one up pretty. That one up pretty quick.
And can I ask, what's Kvaratskhelia like? I mean, he was unbelievable at the Euros last year, and obviously for PSG. What was he like as a guy?
Yeah, no, he's a top guy, to be fair. You wouldn't, if you was to see him in the group, obviously he's an outstanding talent, and when you watch him train, he's phenomenal. But if you see him in the group with the other players, he integrates really well. So you wouldn't necessarily see him as the standout star of the team. And I think that's the strength of the Georgian team. Actually, is a real togetherness about him. A lot of them have played together, and he's a very humble lad, very down to earth, but very, very driven and focused. He wants to get to the top and win as much as he can at the top levels. But as a person, you couldn't wish for someone who's a better team player than him.
Yeah, it's amazing when you see a player, and you've just mentioned, David, that he's quite humble within the group, the way he performed for Georgia, the way he performed for Napoli, the way he's performed for PSG. Everywhere he's gone, he's really shined. He hasn't had a disappointment in his playing career, as in the level of performance.
No, he hasn't. He's gone from strength to strength. So when I first went to Georgia, he was at Napoli, and I think he's just come off of a great season. And then I think Antonio Conte was the coach, and I think that helped him more on the side of sort of like discipline and work rate, and give him that more broader team effort. Because as you know, Conte's side, you have to work. You've got no choice.
Yeah.
And then PSG, I think that's really suits his game, because in that system he plays he's best on the left ideally coming on his right, where that's his favourite position for himself. But he can play as a number 9, which he's played for us. He can play on the right, on the left. He's got that freedom to rotate with the other players like Dembele and Doucouré and Barcola at PSG, and I think that really suits his game. So he is a top player that's going to go on to do really well.
Well, listen, keep in touch with us, David. It's been good to talk to you and get your insight on things. Just before we let you go, can you quickly spell Kvaratskhelia and Marmardashvili?
Absolutely not.
David Webb, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.
Cheers, all the best.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Georgia assistant coach David Webb there. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, the rest of the Premier League action. We'll get stuck into it next.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, a man called Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, In 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped that most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money. But instead of entering the league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. And it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil. And the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed, they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest football teams in Brazil. Now, they were global superstars, and despite not being professional, Corinthians drew in the crowds. Everybody wanted to play them, everybody wanted to watch them. So much so, they regularly played the winners of the FA Cup in what eventually became the Community Shield, winning most of the time. They actually inflicted Manchester United's worst defeat, 11-3, a record which still stands to this day. Now, fast forward to today, Corinthian casuals still don't pay their staff or players. The ethos of sportsmanship is still at the heart of everything that they do. And even though they're a side in the lower leagues, if you make the trip to King George's Field in Tolworth just off the A3, you'll most likely bump into Brazilian Corinthians fans who often make the pilgrimage across the globe just to watch their founding team play.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Marseille striker Tony Cascarino. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Coming up for you today, Ruben Amorim will be looking to keep Manchester United's winning run going after that big victory at Anfield last weekend. He wants his side to continue with the rhythm.
We need to understand that football changed a lot, especially in this kind of club. So we are not thinking in the last game. We are thinking on this game is going to be really hard to win.
Looking forward to this one, 5:30 this evening. All of the updates coming up for you on GameDay Live and on the GameDay phone-in. Liverpool head to the G-Tech to take on Brentford. Live for you here on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock kickoff. Liverpool manager Arne Slot hopes his side can find the clinical edge that they showed in the 5-1 thrashing against Frankfurt.
I said many times against United and against Frankfurt, from open play we generated the same amount of chances. But the difference was that we didn't concede a set piece, but we scored 2 set pieces.
And Eberechi Eze is set for a reunion with his former club as Arsenal face Crystal Palace, and Gunners boss Mikel Arteta underlined the need to keep their momentum in the title race.
It's a big game for us because last season here we dropped some points, and it's the 4th game in a row that we're going to play against opponents that we drop points, and this season we've been able to beat them, so he focuses on that.
Arsenal face Palace tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We'll talk about Mikel Arteta a little bit later on in the show. West Ham fans, we're taking your calls this morning. Do you need some therapy with Tony Cascarino? Is it too early to worry, or are you panicking right now? 03717 22 3344. Former West Ham striker Frank McAvenny will be with us later on the show. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning. We were talking earlier on about King Kenny and the chocolate situation with Sir Alex Ferguson last weekend at the game. They were sharing the bag of chocolate buttons. Henry Winter from the Sunday edition sent a message to say Kenny had 3 pieces of Cadbury's Dairy Milk the night before every game, old school nutrition. So I said, love that. Why 3 pieces? And he said, tradition and superstition, I think.
Oh, right.
Just 3 bits of Cadbury's.
Yeah. Look, people do strange things, don't they? Under the rules of superstitions, you know.
Yeah.
We all have our habits. Some can be in the lineup. Some can be, you know, things they do the night before, or you know, like chocolate, and you know, just do. I used to carry 5 lucky stars. I carried them in my pocket.
What kind of stars were
they? Were just plastic stars that were off my son's room that were up on his ceiling. And I took them off one day and I put them in my pocket, and forgot to throw them away. And I scored a couple for Millwall, and I carried them around until my friend threw them out in the road because I was playing poker, and I used to take them. I used to have my lucky stars in my pocket and put them on the table, and I won this hand off my friend, and he got really angry with me. He grabbed the stars and threw them out on the road, and I was scrambling between the traffic.
What a rat!
Because he was upset I won the hand. But you know, I did. I was very superstitious for a while.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near as bad as I used to be.
I always have this thing now. Obviously,
touch wood.
Nothing's what? Touch wood. That's it. You're toast now, Cass. Where I can't bin it or delete any pictures that have the kids in it.
Right.
Even if it's like a rubbish picture, it's all bloody, whatever.
You just don't want to delete it.
Like, is that a bad thing if you delete that picture? Don't know.
There's some bad pictures of yourself. You know, I don't want to. If I see a picture of myself I don't like, I just get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know, but I would. Yeah, do that with the children's photos at school. You know, when the school, when you have their day for the photo shoot, and they go in and you see the pictures and you go, well, I don't like that one, I don't like this one. You know, and when you keep the good ones, that's what we all do, no?
Yeah, I'm just mental. I think that's the only thing. Lots coming up for you in the Premier League today. Keeping you posted with Adrian Durham. Game Day live on talkSPORT from 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's Chelsea, Sunderland, Newcastle, Fulham, Man United versus Brighton at 5:30, and live on talkSPORT 8 o'clock tonight. Brentford take on Liverpool, and then of course we've got more games tomorrow. We'll look ahead to them soon. It's also a huge weekend in the EFL. Last night Preston came from 2-0 down to defeat Sheffield United 3-2 in a brilliant game in the Championship. It was live for you over on talkSPORT 2.
Guinness is trying to get back into position. Ball comes in. Jemison 3-2. Jemison scores against his former club, and the comeback complete. 3 goals in quick succession. Preston were 2-0 down. They lead by 3-0. Disappointment for Sheffield United, who led here by 2-0. And Preston, through the former blade Daniel Jemison, bullet header, made it 3-2 on the hour mark.
Amazing game last night. Absolutely brilliant. Cash, you enjoyed that one?
Well, no, I didn't really enjoy it. But,
well then, good chat. That's all we've got time for.
No, I didn't enjoy it because obviously I've said before that I've known Chris Wilder for a long time.
Yeah.
Paul Heckingbottom, you know, former Sheffield United manager. He's now at Preston. Done a really good job, you know, and Chris was in a position where he was really comfortable with his team, and it was a real ding-dong of a match, I've got to say.
Huge win for Preston. Sheffield Wednesday fan, talkSPORT Fan Network presenter and EFL expert Dan Fudge is with us now this morning to look back on everything and give us a look ahead on today. Good morning, Dan.
Morning, Shebahn. You all right?
Hi, Dan.
Good. Yeah,
Morning,
good to have
Cass.
you with us.
Dan, I've got to ask you because it's taken really for HMRC to not be paid for you to finally get the conclusion of this ex-owner now.
Yeah, it's been a long 10 years, and it's been a slow declining, well, litany of nonsense for about 8 of those. I've got to do a big shout out to the stadium manager at Hillsborough, because as soon as it was announced that Depon Chansiri wasn't our chairman anymore, we've already started ripping the white seats out that spell his name on the like, within a matter of moments they were working on that. So there might be the odd Hansiri, or I think it's Ansiri, written across the stadium today. So big shout to them. But yeah, it's been really tough, and it's an odd position to be kind of celebrating administration, as it were. I was saying on H&J yesterday that we were kind of resigned to League One football anyway, given that because of Chansiri's mismanagement, we'd lost a lot of our best players. So it was always going to be a long season. However, it's a very small light at the end of a big, long tunnel.
Yeah, Dan, I've got to ask you, because you know, the guy had the opportunity to sell the club between 30 and 40 million when there was, you know, buyers out there to take the football club. He stood his ground and wanted 100 million for the club, which never happened, and has eventually had the club taken under his feet. So why was he so insistent and wanting 100 million when that clearly wasn't never going to be paid?
2 words on that one, Kaz. Pride and spite. There's an element of he's not going to be dictated to when he sells the club, and I genuinely think he thought he could try and retain some kind of part ownership if people came in. But like, you know, I think he's got one of those game show wheels in the back of his office. So somebody will come in, and this week it's 30 million, tomorrow it's 100. There was one point he got up to 120, then back down to 60. The truth is he had no idea what he was doing, and to see the back of him is it's such a great feeling. Did you see the photos from the club shop yesterday?
Yes.
The supporters trust have done this wonderful no pound in the ground initiative that the Sheffield Wednesday fans, I must admit, really staunchly stuck to. And as the administrators came in, Chansiri is no longer part of the club. They made 75k in the club shop alone yesterday.
Wow. Wow, there you go. And in terms of what's coming up in the EFL today, Coventry, Watford is live on talkSPORT 2. Cov at the top. How do you see that one going?
I tell you what, Coventry are absolutely flying, aren't they? You've got that Brandon Thomas Asante continuing his fine form with a brace at Fratton Park, and Frank Lampard's doing a big old job there, and I don't begrudge him any success. Fair play to him, because Coventry have been there and thereabouts now for about 2 years. Watford, on the other hand, they've had a managerial change. Javi Grazia's back and managed to get a 2-1 win against Ryan Mason's West Brom, trademark. But they're a bit poor away from home, so we'll have to see how that pans out.
Okay, and Millwall Leicester also live on talkSPORT 2 later on this afternoon.
Game, that one.
That's you could probably tell me more about that one, Cass, couldn't you? That's something you enjoyed on your ends.
Yeah, they're going all right. They're doing really well, and I've seen them a couple of times at home this year. Got a very young team, but still got people like Cooper at the back, who's a real strong lad, defends well, not the quickest, but leads from the back, and they're going really well. I think it's a great game today, that one against Leicester, because obviously where they both are in the table as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Leicester have had a bit of a stuttered start to what people expected them to have had. But yeah, Millwall were quite heavily fancied at the start of this season to start pushing a little bit. I think in some weird roundabout way they're going to be little bit disappointed as to how their season's panning out.
Yeah. Dan, any joy in what happened last night? Did you celebrate like a shady fan?
When you were talking about it, I was kind of punching the air a little bit. You know,
low key.
Sheffield Wednesday have got Oxford today, and there's an element of there's a potential for it, but we're -6, right? So any point's just going to be a bit of a party, and it's always difficult to try and celebrate Sheffield United's demise when we're in minus figures. But
yeah, true.
You know, there's always a little wry smile somewhere all the time.
Well, thanks for coming on this morning, Dan Fudge, EFL expert. Have a good day today.
Cheers, Dan.
Cheers.
Speak with you soon. By the way, tonight, live for you here on talkSPORT, former heavyweight champion and current WBO interim champion Joseph Parker takes on WBA interim heavyweight champion Fabio Wardley. It's live from the O2 tonight. The winner will all but guarantee themselves a shot at one of the undisputed champion Alexander Usyk's belts. You can watch it live tonight with our friends on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
And speaking of which, talkSPORT's boxing presenter Gareth A. Davis is with us next. Good morning. Welcome along to Talk Sports Weekend Breakfast. We're live on YouTube. We're on your smart TV. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Millwall striker Tony Cascarino. It's that time of year, Cass. The rumours are starting. Who's going into the jungle?
Oh, right, okay.
Tell me you and Joe at least watched that together.
Bits of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a bit, now and again, just to see.
Well, have you ever been offered to go into it?
No.
Would you like to be?
No.
I'm your assistant now. I can make some photos. I used to.
I've never really thought about it, to be honest.
Well, today, rumoured going into the jungle, former Lioness and Arsenal player Alex Scott.
Right, yeah, okay.
Rumoured to be in advanced talks with the bosses at I'm a Celebrity.
Well, so what's the going rate now? Do they talk about the going rates? Because it's sort of changed.
Is it like... I mean, who was the high-paid one, the politician who was in it? Colleen Rooney. Nigel Farage got a bomb, didn't he? He was like £500,000, which is wild. It's reported that Colleen Rooney got $1 million.
Right.
And Alex Scott, I don't know what we're talking there. Hundreds of thousands anyway.
Because they're all on different amounts of money, aren't they?
Yeah.
How many normally go? Is it 12?
In terms of the pool.
Yeah. Is there about 12 people that go in? Right.
And then you get the odd ones that are chucked in towards the end.
Right, okay.
Throw a few rats into the jungle.
Would you do it?
No, probably not. I went out there though. I worked on Good Morning Britain when it was the exit interviews.
Right, yeah.
And I got to go and stay in the Versace. Best work perk ever. And it was a breakfast show we worked on, GMB, and I started at 4 p.m. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But
good memories.
I can't stand spiders. I just hate them. I hate them so much. And if I saw one of those huntsmen sitting looking at me, I'd probably just die. Hate to be dramatic and all that.
No, there's a lot of people. I hear screams in my house every now and again when there's a spider appears, and I think that's somebody's died or something. You know?
I know. We need to get Ali McCoist in the jungle. I think he'd be great.
Yeah, he would be. He's a great character, Ali, isn't he?
Yeah,
great character.
Okay, you can let us know about I'm a Celeb. Who's going into the jungle? Time now to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. GambleAware.org.
Simon Clear, do you have any odds on who's going into the jungle, or is that just two on the spot for you this morning? Hello.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Shebahn. Good morning, Cass. We usually do, actually. It's funny that we haven't quite yet. So you're actually ahead of us. Normally, John Hill and Steve-O have got a little market up. But we always joke that it'd be lovely in principle. It would never happen. To see how long Alan Brazil would
Imagine Brazil in the jungle.
I mean, he wouldn't last 24 hours, would he?
I don't think so. He'd be the Gemma Collins male
I don't know. With Alan, you never, ever know. You know, a lot of people say, oh, this would never do. And yet Alan just keeps going.
To be fair, he's done a breakfast show for 27 years, so maybe we're undermining him slightly.
Yes, but he occasionally doesn't turn up, and occasionally has a bad back, and occasionally his voice goes. And I mean, you know,
he can't have a drink in there, or can he?
That's right. We'd have to be wheeling out replacements for him in the jungle.
He could be the barman, couldn't he? In the middle of the jungle.
Yeah, exactly. We'll keep tabs on that.
Can't wait.
Simon, how are you? What have we got coming up today? Premier League odds, my friend?
Yeah, listen, so we've got some good little programme today. Obviously, plenty tomorrow as well. So it's a cracking weekend. I mean, great fixture here, Chelsea-Sunderland. It's funny, we both sides almost with aspirations, or I suppose their priorities at the start of the season would have been other ends of the table, but they're actually sitting together on 14 points as they play today. Chelsea 4-9 at home, 7-2 the draw. But Sunderland having a fantastic start to the season, 6-1. Cass, your old side. This is no gimme, because they haven't been super consistent, Chelsea, have they?
I think there's a lot of optimism around Chelsea because they've got a lot of young players coming in, Simon, that are doing really, really well. And with that, I thought they produced some really good performances as well, especially in midweek in the Champions League. You can see there's something growing. He's not convinced all Chelsea fans, Maresca, yet, but I think the numbers are growing for him.
Yeah. It's great. It's a great day. Another side I'm really fascinated to see today is Manchester United.
Yeah.
You know, the incredible win against Liverpool, but we all know that the big problem they have last season particularly was stringing back-to-back performances together. Well, they've now got a home game following that big win, perfect for them, but they're playing a side who are in great form as well. Brighton, they're only 1 point between them in the league. And Man United are even money, so short enough price, 3-2 on the draw, but Brighton 5-2. You wouldn't. I mean, again, if they were to slip up today, it would almost undo the work from last weekend. Would you think so, Shebahn, as a fan?
I'm confident, really, with this, Simon, for Manchester United. I really am today. I think everything that happened last weekend. There's a bit of momentum there. I think Ruben's saying all the right things. The team are playing for him. You can absolutely give them that. No, I'm confident it'll be Manchester United win today.
Oh, good stuff. And then, of course, Brentford, Liverpool, Cass. For do we need Brentford, our West London rivals, or I suppose colleagues, we call them as an Arsenal fan. We need them to pull out a result against Liverpool to keep that gap or make that gap even bigger. They're 3-1 Brentford, 3-1 the draw. Liverpool 5-6. Great win during the week, but can they bounce back from a recent poor run of form?
I saw them win there last year, and Liverpool got out of jail a bit in that game as well. I'm still got my reservations about where Liverpool are because they keep conceding goals, Simon. You know, you can't keep conceding 2 goals so often in games. You just can't. And that's why I have my reservations, because if Liverpool were a bit tighter, I mean, look, Konate hadn't played particularly well. You've changed the 2 fullbacks. You've had Van Dijk didn't have his best game, one of his poorest games against Manchester United. McAllister is, you know, we talk about Mo Salah's position, whether he should be dropped. McAllister's hanging by the skin of his teeth, really, of whether he starts in the team. So there's lots of question marks over the Liverpool's best 11 now.
Yeah.
Quick look at the racing today, please, Simon.
Yes, of course. It's it's a bit of exactly. It was jumps and flats. It's where they start to cross over. The flats, Doncaster stages, one of the last. I think it's the last Group 1 in England, actually, the Futurity Stakes. But Aidan O'Brien has the first 3 in the betting. Benvenuto Cellini. I must do my research. Yeah, because I better say, probably someone very famous. I better research that. It's the favourite, 5-4. Hawk Mountain, 5-2, and then 9-2 Action. And Aidan O'Brien has a mad record of winning that race. He almost certainly will today. But Cheltenham's where the excitement is. It's coming back. We had a good day yesterday. Coral Ambassadors, Joe Tizard, the trainer, has Rock My Way in the 220, ridden by Brendan Powell. I'm hopeful he can go well. And Sean Bowen, again, another Coral Ambassador, who's, I think he's ridden 100 odd winners this season already. He was champion jockey last year. 2 4-timers on 2 consecutive days during the week. He rides Long Draw, is probably his best ride of the day in the 255. So yeah, football, racing. There's even a bit of cricket at 1 in the morning.
Let's
just stay at home. It's cold outside.
I know. Yeah, you need
any 200-1 winners this weekend.
We've got to try and find one. Exactly. They don't come round very often. But that was and we had, there was also a 100-1 winner as well on the day, which was kind of overshadowed by the 200-1 winner. But yeah, no, bookies always like them. But no, the punters prefer the favourites to win.
Yeah, text us when you find out. Okay, Simon, thank you so much. We'll speak to you soon. That was the latest odds with Coral. 18+ be gambleaware.org, and please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18+ max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Coming up for you next, talkSPORT's hard man Gareth A. Davis will be here to look ahead to Fight Night. listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Villa and Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. Who sings it?
It's not another Katy Perry one, is it?
No, but you're close. Starts with a K. Kicking K.
Go on. I don't know.
Kesha.
I wouldn't have got that.
Okay. TikTok. Why though? Why are we playing it? Because the clocks go back tonight. It's just, we've just clocked it. The clocks go back tonight. Extra hour in bed. That's outstanding for us.
Yeah.
That is a win right there. What will you do with that extra hour?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the winter though, as it gets you dark at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Bit grim, innit?
I know, but you know, tonight, extra hour for me. That's another bottle of wine, Cass. I'm only joking. Here's what's coming up for you here on talkSPORT today. We've got lots on the way after us. Max and Charlie are bringing you the warm-up from 10 through to 1 o'clock. And then Adrian Durham is here for GameDay Live. All of the goals as they go in from the Premier League and the EFL. Over on talkSPORT 2, we've got live championship action for you. Coventry take on Watford at 12:30. Then the 3 o'clock game is Millwall against Leicester City. And then here on talkSPORT, GameDay phone in 5:30. The nation's wind-up merchants Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara will be here bringing you updates as well on Manchester United versus Brighton, because that kicks off at 5:30 as well. And then we've got a huge night of live sport here on talkSPORT. Brentford versus Liverpool from the G-Tech, 8 o'clock kick-off there. Live and exclusive Premier League commentary with us. Download the talkSPORT app. You can take us anywhere with you. And if you fancy a bit of Fight Night live, 10 o'clock here on talkSPORT, Joseph Parker takes on Fabio Wardley at the O2 Arena. And if you love the boxing and you want some more, the undercard is going to be live over on talkSPORT 2 before the main event here on talkSPORT. All coming up for you here on talkSPORT today. You looking forward to the fight tonight? Well, there you go, extra hour to stay up much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's... I was reading, I mean, we're going to speak to Gareth now, yeah?
Yeah, Gareth actually is.
There?
Gareth, are you there? Gareth Davis, are you with us, sir?
Morning, gorgeous. And how
hello. Are you talking to me, Gareth?
Yeah, I said morning, gorgeous. And how are you, Shebahn?
Hi, I'm doing well, thanks. I'm well.
I was reading your piece this morning, Gareth, in the Telegraph, and you've laid it out really with, Joseph Parker and the fairy tale story of Fabio Wardley, where, risen to 7th in the world, and, this guy that was in the office, 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, and we'll come on to your extraordinary story later on in the segment, because Shebahn doesn't know that we go back nearly 30 years, you and I, does she?
He literally just offered me a little bit of an insight of your relationship.
I know, I said me and Gareth had a experience in the car for quite a number of hours, didn't we, Gareth?
Sounds very weird, but you said it.
Well, no, it's weird, because it was around then.
Okay, guys, oversharing this morning?
No, just Gareth interviewed me, and we ended up chatting, and it went on for way longer than it should have, Gareth, didn't it?
What it was this time of year, believe it or not, and I'd been out partying. This was 28 years ago, okay? 27 years ago, 1998, we'll come to the boxing in a minute. 1998, I was writing all kinds of features for the Telegraph at the time. I think Tony was about to be the most capped player for the Republic of Ireland. I think that's right at the time, Tony.
And he was
playing, and he was playing for Nancy. And I'd taken a ferry in my car. My father given me this left-hand drive, fast car. I thought, I'm going to drive to Nancy, and it's 500 kilometres from Calais. So I took the ferry, but a guy had a heart attack on the ferry, and the ferry was delayed. So I had about 4 hours to get to Nancy. I zoomed there because I was catching a game that Tony was playing in. Somehow I got there, driving at 100 kilometres an hour. Got to the ground. I don't know how I got in, but I got into his changing room in the end. I got into the Nancy changing room, and Tony said, "No, don't worry, my mate's here. We're driving back to Calais right now, if you remember."
Yeah.
And Tony said, "I'll jump in the car with you. My mate can follow in the car." And I had the dictaphone on, recording for about 3 hours, and Tony's love of cheese and wine. We got into a deep, deep conversation that I've never forgotten, to be honest.
No, neither's he. He was just telling me all about it there, about this road trip that you guys had.
It was a road trip. That's exactly what it was. It really was.
The bromance I never knew I needed in my life.
But I want to remind people what a brilliant footballer he was. And what an extraordinary career he had. And also what a brilliant journalist he's been for talkSPORT and the Times for many years as well. And people forget that. And one of the salient things that I ran into Tony at a big boxing event. I think it was Vegas, because one of the things we talked about in the car was his kids were his two sons. He was thinking about sending them to what kind of school, and he sent them to private school. And I said I went to private school. I think it's really good for you for sport. Years later, when the kids were about 20, I think we all ran into each other in Vegas, Tony, didn't we?
Yeah. I took them over for their 21st, and it was a Ricky Hatton fight. That's who it was. It was a Ricky Hatton fight. Yeah, when about 2007.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so, great times, Gaff. Look, let's get back to the boxing, because you might say something I told you.
Squeaky bum time over here.
Gaff, let's tell us about... Because it feels like from the outside, Joseph Parker's got everything to lose in this fight, because the underdog is, Fabio Wardley, who is, like you said, an office fighter.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose. Bare knuckle fight. Not bare knuckle. White collar fighting 8 years ago. Recruitment consultant in Suffolk. Takes up the sport. Finds he can knock people out. He's a big, athletic, very gifted, physically gifted lump. He's come all the way through in 20 fights, virtually knocking everyone out, disfiguring Fraser Clark in Saudi Arabia. Really dangerous fighter, as opposed to Joseph Parker, who, when he was having those white collar fights, was fighting Andy Ruiz and winning the world title nearly 10 years ago. And it's felt like he's been the fall guy, or the average Joe, if you like, in the division for a long time, losing his belt to Anthony Joshua, but coming strong in the last 2 or 3 fights with victories over Deontay Wilder, Zhilei Zhang, and earlier this year, Martin Bakole in an 11th hour fight when Daniel Dubois withdrew to fight, was injured, but withdrew to fight Alexander Usyk. I agree with you. This is a fight in which it looks on paper and after the weigh-in yesterday that it's Parker's fight to lose. Parker was 1.5 stone heavier at 87 yesterday than Fabio when we were at Spitalfields for the weigh-in. Fabio, I think Parker's got to be very careful in this fight not to indulge in a dogfight and a firefight early on. And he's talking, whether it's just talk, and he's throwing out kind of just trying to distract Fabio and think he's going to have a dogfight with him, where he's really going to try and outbox him. But I've got a feeling he is going to go in there and try and knock Fabio out, outbox him and knock him out. And I think it may play into Fabio's hands. But I've still got Parker as a big favourite, but I completely agree with you. It's his fight to lose.
Such a difference in weights there. It's absolutely unbelievable. Gareth, do you think this is Parker's last shot at a world title fight?
I'm not sure, because I think it depends. It depends on the manner of the fight. If he loses, the manner of the loss, the manner of the defeat, what happens, in those 12 threes tonight at the O2 Arena. I think if he gets caught and knocked out, he's lost 3 times to Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, and Joe Joyce in the past, then it will be hard to climb back. And it will be a fairy tale rise for Fabio Wardley, who will probably be thrust in against Alexander Usyk, which is peculiar to think that right now. But look, for me, I think Parker can rebuild, but this is his moment. If he loses, I do see catastrophe for him if he loses, because he's had a massive rebuild. He's had a rebuild with those victories that I just mentioned. This is his time with Tyson Fury's career in abeyance right now. He says he's retired. Parker's the next best thing in the world to Alexander Usyk. I don't think any of them beat him, by the way. I don't think any of them beat Alexander Usyk. No. Maybe Moses Atauma in a year's time, but I just think he's too good.
Just briefly, Gareth. Now, obviously, taking up white-collar boxing when he's an office worker, but surely there must have been some background to him. Was he fighting, or, just training, or, just doing it as an exercise? Because I just can't see how you can get that good so quickly. He must have had the bare basics.
Well, the story in the Telegraph, so I've done a massive profile piece that goes into that background with Rob Hodgkins and the guys at Suffolk Punch. Obviously, he's got Ben Davison and Lee Wiley, Ben Davison, strategist, in his corner. Ben Davison, who trains Anthony Joshua and trains Moses Atauma. They've got those guys as gloss on the top. But he was on the books at Ipswich Town Football Club as an early teenager. He was very gifted athletically. I mean, you look at him, he's got a great physique, Fabio. There's not a lot wasted on there. He's kind of built, he was a centre forward. You know, you're 6'2", he was 6'4.5" as a lanky centre forward on the books in his early teens at Ipswich. And then I think he fell by the wayside and didn't do sport and kind of partied for 2 or 3 years. Got in the gym, literally, Hodgkins told me that he came to the gym and wanted to spar, and he turned around and he was in there sparring the amateurs. He put the gloves on. They found him very gifted. Over 2 years or a year and a half, he had 4 or 5 white collar fights. He was knocking everyone out. They were going to turn amateur, but instead they decided to turn pro, and the journeys continued from there on. When he fought Nathan Gorman 2.5 years ago, he was an underdog. When he fought Fraser Clark, he was an underdog. People didn't think he would beat David Adeleye in Saudi Arabia on that Battle of the Baddest card, Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. But at every turn, Shebahn, every turn, Tony, he's just proved everyone wrong. He's got equalising power. At Portman Road a couple of months back, he was outboxed for 8 of the 9 rounds, and then boom, a short, powerful right cross in the 10th round put Justice Hooney away. And when someone's got... It's like when someone's got that ability, like Haaland and these guys, to score a goal at a second's notice when they've got the ball at their... It's the same in heavyweight boxing and elite boxing. When someone's got power to knock someone out, they can change a fight with a single punch. And that's why we have to take his resonance and his abilities very, very seriously tonight.
Yeah, real fairy tale story this is.
Yeah. How do you see it going? And by the way, who are you with tonight? Gareth, who are you working with tonight on talkSPORT?
Well, hopefully Tony Cascarino.
I was going to say, he can drive to you and you can
Spencer, I'm sure.
rekindle.
Yeah, we're on 7:30 from, as you mentioned, on talkSPORT 2, then 10 o'clock on the big channel, talkSPORT. It's me, Paul Smith, the former super middleweight boxer of the great Smith family, the boxing Beatles from Liverpool, Spencer Oliver and Andy Clark.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, lovely stuff. Gareth A. Davies, our boxing expert. Have a good one tonight. We'll speak to you soon.
Cheers.
All the best. Oh, you guys should get back together in the car, do like a road trip.
It was good fun. We chatted about a lot of different stuff. We just had a real giggle in the car.
Yeah, 3 hours of a chat. Fair play.
A bit more than that, I think.
There you go. West Ham fans, we're taking your calls soon. If you want to discuss this with Tony Cascarino, pick up the phone 03717 22 3344. Defeat against Leeds last night, who deserved that win. How do you feel about this message? Is it too early? Is it too soon to panic? 03717 22 3344 is the number. And coming up next, we're going to rattle a few cages. Mikel Arteta, is he the best coach in the world right now? This is Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning, you're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Villa striker Tony Cascarino is here as well. Your headlines this morning: West Ham's miserable Premier League campaign continued with a 2-1 defeat at Leeds last night, which ensured their worst start to a season for 52 years. I love that we do that. We just West Ham fans who'll be feeling a bit sorry for themselves this morning. Wake up, turn on talkSPORT and we just make it worse. Well done, you've got a record of being the worst you've ever been.
I think over the last few weeks we've heard enough from West Ham fans who are completely disgruntled, and rightly so, of
course,
of how the club's going.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a very difficult so far season.
You can get it off your chest with us this morning. 03717 223344. Are you worried, or is it too soon to panic? Daniel Jebison completed a dramatic Preston comeback by scoring the winning goal against his former club Sheffield United in an enthralling contest that ended 3-2 to Preston, and Chelsea face Sunderland in one of the kickoffs at 3 o'clock today. Here's our talkSPORT correspondent with everything you need to know.
I'm Alex Crook, back at Stamford Bridge for the second time this week to see if Chelsea can make it 4 wins in a row against the Sunderland side, who've been the surprise package of the season so far. I'm expecting goals in this one as Chelsea take on Sunderland.
There you go. You can see Alex Crook for a coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of people to catch up with at Chelsea today, Cass. Let's focus now on Mikel Arteta, because we want to discuss his defensive record so far since the start of the 23-24 campaign. Arteta's Arsenal have conceded the fewest league goals per game of any team in Europe's 5 major divisions. Brilliant. Arsenal have only conceded 3 goals so far this season, which at the moment is on track to beat Chelsea's Premier League record of 15 goals conceded in the season. And despite their defensive prowess, he still thinks the side can continue to improve.
No, but they are far from perfect, and there are a lot of things that we must do better. Obviously, there are a lot of things that we're doing very, very well, and we need to maintain that. So it's just about understanding that the margins to win football games at this level are very small. In certain moments we had certain luck, in certain moments we have fully deserved to win them, but that's not going to be the same trajectory all the way in the season, and we need to be prepared for that. So the more alert we are, the more urgency we have, the more desire we have for the next game, we're going to be in a better place to win the game.
Only 3 goals conceded through the 8 games so far, Cass.
Yeah.
Defensive record is excellent. Can't take that away from him.
Well, they're the best defensive team in Europe, quite clearly. I can't answer for the world because I don't watch South American football. And
top 5 divisions, though.
Yeah, well, the top 5 division. If you look at European football, and if you want to take it, I'll give you some just on last season alone. Liverpool won the title by 10 points, Shebahn, last year. Mm-hmm. Okay, Liverpool conceded 41 goals. Arsenal conceded 34. Even though they were 10 points behind, their defensive unit was really solid. And with that, you know, Liverpool would won by 10 points. Now, if we was to say in European football, who are the best 2 defensive coaches that have ever existed? We'd probably, most of us would go Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte. Okay? They were the flagship managers for defensive records, and can't beat them, can't break them down. I happen to have played against George Graham's Arsenal when they had Dixon, Winterburn, Bold, Adams, Keown, O'Leary, Linegan. They were hard to play against. Such a tight unit. Now, a load of money was spent on Arsenal in forward areas. Madueke coming in, Eze, obviously Gyökeres coming in centre forward. That back line of Arsenal is up there with the level of Winterburn, Dixon, Bold, Adams, and all the others I mentioned, because they give you nothing. Arsenal. And that is why I said at the start of the season, when they improved their forward positions, that Arsenal were the team to beat, because this team will give you nothing in a game.
Yeah. And
it's hard to create against them as well. And they've improved defensively, but he is, without doubt, he's taken over from, take Jose Mourinho's Benfica that played in midweek, and Jose's gone down the ladder slightly in the teams he's managed, and he had it at Manchester United. They were still pretty sound defensively. Antonio Conte, likewise. They found it. These 2 are the best, and they found modern day football, as in the last couple of years, really hard to stop teams scoring. Napoli conceded 6 in the meet. Benfica conceded 3. You'd never associate that with them 2 managers.
Yeah.
So we can go, well, Arsenal have had the funds to do it, you know, and improve. But that back 4 is the Winterburn, Dixon, you know, Adams, all that group.
But if they go on to win the title, and it's such early days, but if they do, would that be down to their defence or down to getting a number 9?
Well, it's going to be look. Their defence was a title-winning defence anyway. Because
they needed Gyökeres. And
they needed the investment of what they did, and that is a number 9, and that is another addition to if Odegaard's injured, you've got Eze in there that can come in. You've already got Saka. Havertz has been injured. He has just bolstered all the squad, and Martinelli's playing back to his. Oh, yeah. I think he's much closer to when he first hit the ground running with Arsenal because of pressure on his place. But the back line, Calafiori's come in recent years. Timber's come in, had a bad injury. But that back line last year was good enough to win a title.
Yeah.
They just didn't have the option up front that they've got now. So Arteta, without doubt, is the best European coach for keeping clean sheets, defensive records. It's most definitely him. There's not even a close second to me.
And if he goes on to win the Premier League title, does he become the best coach in the world currently?
Well, I think that takes to be the best coach in the world. You've got to win a lot and regularly, and it might be more than one competition.
Currently, though.
Yeah, I think he's been really impressive because he knows what he wants, and the modern game allows attacking football to get penalties, free kicks in dangerous areas. You can get silly decisions like handballs, like tiny fouls to give away penalties to concede goals.
Yeah.
People can't even get in the 18-yard box against Arsenal.
I know. No, they have. They've been brilliant. Arsenal against Crystal Palace as part of GameDay Live tomorrow. Updates from 2:00 here on talkSPORT. Should be a good game, that. Coming up next for you in Weekend Breakfast, we're going to speak to talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook about today's Premier League action. Morning.
cricket balls are red, baseballs are white, American footballs are brown, and tennis balls are yellow. We don't even think about it really, but the story behind the tennis ball is actually quite interesting and even involves Sir David Attenborough. I know. Well, here's the tale. Tennis is widely known to be a French sport. It dates back to the 12th century when people used handmade balls, and it was then called tennis, which is the verb to hold in French. And people used some pretty wacky material to make the balls with: cork, wool, chalk, animal fur, and even human hair. A few centuries on, Germany got dead into the tennis too, but wanted to make a few modifications to the ball to make it a bit more effective. Around this time, an American chemist had just created something called vulcanized rubber. Out of that, people started developing air-filled rubber balls, which were properly bouncy, but either red or grey in colour. These were manufactured in Melton Mowbray. That's right, the home of the pork pie. One problem, the balls kept on breaking on impacts with the racket. The call of "new balls please" seemingly coming over every other point. Step forward English lawyer and tennis enthusiast John Moyer Heathcote, who suggested balls be covered in flannel to stop them from degrading. And thus the modern-day tennis ball was born. But these were white or black, so how did they become yellow? Well, in 1967, the controller of BBC Two, one Sir David Attenborough, decided the corporation should show Wimbledon on colour TV. He got his wish, and it was wide into people's homes across the country. The only sticking point, the white balls were nearly impossible to see on the screen. So the International Tennis Federation, sensing an opportunity, started developing a new ball that would be visible even without the need for 4K LED displays. Not that anyone had that in the late 60s. After rigorous testing, they came up with the colour optic yellow and decided every ball be coated in that colour from there on in. And there you have it. Tennis balls are yellow, all because Sir David Attenborough wanted to watch Wimbledon from the comfort of his own front room. You could say the ITF aced it.
Good morning, you're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne alongside former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Coming up for you today, after Forest's 2-0 win over Porto midweek, Sean Dyche, it says he's still assessing his squad ahead of tomorrow's trip to Bournemouth.
I think on first impressions it's a good squad. I've worked with some very underrated players, very good players who cost next to nothing, who've delivered in the Premier League for many years. So I don't look at price tags, I look at right in front of me.
And after their shock midweek defeat to AEK Larnaca, Oliver Glasner says he's confident in the squad despite a minor wobble after midweek's defeat, insisting performances remain solid at Palace.
The performances are okay. They are not always top, and we can't. This was our 14th game this season, I think. We will have 17 or 18 until the end of the season, and we can't expect always performing on the top. And then also sometimes you need to be clinical.
And ahead of Brighton's trip to Old Trafford, their boss Fabian Hürzeler says that Danny Welbeck is fully focused on the team after talk of him returning to the England squad.
I'm sure that he's only focused on performing here, performing well, and that's the only thing he can influence. And the rest, it's nothing what is in his hands, so it's nothing what he can control.
It's grown arms and legs, this chat, after we discussed it last week about Danny Welbeck.
Last season, Unsala, I'm in the press conference and asked him a question. He said, you need to come in our dressing room and do a team talk.
Did he really?
It's only a basic care question. Can't even remember the question, but it was only basic.
What? We'll listen back.
He did a press conference and Who was it at the game? It was 1-1. I think it was Ipswich. Ipswich at home it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of Ipswich's best points, I thought, of the season. And I just asked him a question. For the life of me, I can't remember what it was. But he just said straight out the bat, do you want to come and talk to the lads? Give a, chat. It was quite funny. It's good.
Yeah, to be fair,
he's so young.
He's a baby.
You
Was
know,
he 32 or something?
32. Well, I think he was 32 last year. I don't know when he first
Which
got
must
the job.
make him 33.
Yeah.
If my calculations are correct.
He was really, really assured, knew what he wanted, type of playing style he wanted to implement, and knew that all the dynamics of the way that Brighton were run. And he was just there to coach and get the players and make them better and improve. It was really interesting listening to him.
He's doing well, actually, because I remember when we were in Germany for the Euros, he was then linked to getting the job, and I remember the tabloids, all saying, and the journals all saying, he will struggle in the Premier League. So he's done really well.
Well, it's a bit like Keith Andrews at Brentford, isn't it? Like getting the opportunity to take a job on. Okay, he's older than what Unsala was, but Keith's been given a role, and a lot of Brentford fans would have been afraid.
Doing great.
Yeah,
Keith
done
Andrews
great.
really is. By the way, Fabian Hürzeler is 32, which means last year
I was 31
he was
then.
31.
I thought he was 32 then. But
Hot on
well,
pulse.
for someone who's at that age, 31, to be given that sort of
crazy
job and know exactly what he wanted, it was really impressive.
Fair play to him. Indeed, Manchester United against Brighton today is 5:30. All the updates coming for you here on talkSPORT and the GameDay phone in. Ruben Amorim looking to secure 3 wins in a row. Come on, for the first time as United manager after defeating both Sunderland and Liverpool. And after his last-minute winner at Anfield, Amorim says that Harry Maguire needs to now consistently show those levels for the rest of the season.
He's not young, but he can learn a lot. He can improve. I think he can be so much better with the ball because he has that quality and he needs to show that. In nowadays, with the set pieces that you see, the amount of men that you put in the box, every cross from the opponents, and everyone is playing like that. He's a massive player for us, so I'm really happy. But he needs to continue. That game is in the past. That goal is in the past. Let's move for the present and the future.
Here to look ahead to the game in more detail is this guy with this theme tune that he now goes with. Yeah. It's not too late to say sorry, Crookie. It's never too late to say sorry, is it, pal?
You gotta go. I wonder where you were going.
I was trying to find it, but you've changed your tune. If there was a song in there.
Sorry, Ruben, I'm sorry. I love that you issued an apology to Amorim. That was good.
Let's see what happens today. If it's 3 wins in a row, then you have to say corner has been turned. Let's hope it's not 1 step forward and 2 back, as it often seems to be.
Crookie. You've got to stand by your convictions. Now, earlier on in the season, I listened to you regularly on the Fridays, chatting with Sam and whoever, and I'm listening, Ruben's done this, and this is not right, and this, and to a point, you're spot on, but you've changed very quickly.
Beating Liverpool will do that.
I wouldn't say I'm totally changed, but listen, you have to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
First, Manchester United manager since Louis van Gaal to win at Anfield. Finally, back-to-back wins on the board. And actually, if they beat Brighton today, and that's not a given because Brighton have been United's bogey team in recent seasons, that'll be 5 wins in 7 in the Premier League. There aren't too many teams, probably Arsenal aside and maybe City, who can boast that kind of record because it's so competitive this season. And they've had, fixture-wise, a tough start, haven't they? Arsenal at home, Liverpool away. They played City in the derby already as well. Chelsea at home, which obviously they've won against 10 men. So, listen, I'm touching wood. I'm hoping that a corner has been turned, but they need a performance today.
Where was all this said 2-3 weeks ago? You've played all these teams. Even the photo behind you, that guy you've got on the wall, he's laughing. Eric Cantona behind you.
Rookie, he's hammering you this morning. Cass is coming for you.
He is hammering me, isn't he? I tell you what, I bet Ruben wishes this guy was in his team.
Yeah.
But no, listen, I was not happy with the Manchester Derby performance. I was not happy with the Brentford performance. And obviously the Grimsby performance was an absolute abomination. And I do still worry, Cass, about that midfield.
Yeah.
I do worry that, particularly against Brighton today, Liverpool weren't at their best last week. Brighton are capable of overrunning United in midfield, and that is a concern.
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, it can be the bogey team for Manchester United as well. They have struggled against them in recent years, so I can understand, why you'd be hesitant going into this game. But I just look at the players that Ruben has recruited, and then the way they have been playing. I mean, that 45 minutes, the first half against Sunderland as well.
I thought Cunha last week was super.
Cunha, unreal. And Burma, what a difference.
Yeah,
I mean,
makes a big difference.
It does seem promising, doesn't it, Crookie? You have to be positive.
Yeah, the signings look good. And you know what? The goalkeeper's made a massive difference. Not that he had anything spectacular to do at Liverpool last week, but he just instills confidence in the defence that obviously Aherne and Altay struggled with because they were so error-prone. So early days in his United career, he's still young. I'm sure he will make mistakes, but at the moment, that looks a very good signing. And you're right about Cunha. I actually said during our show on Sunday, is there a rule that you can't give a free kick for a foul on Cunha? Because he got kicked all over the pitch by Liverpool. Yeah. And to be fair to him, and he can be a bit hot-headed, he didn't react. He got his head down. He kept carrying the ball out of difficult positions. And particularly in that last 10, 15 minutes after Liverpool equalised, he was the real outball for Manchester United. And yes, you can say, well, he's not put assists and goals on the board yet. But I think anyone who's watched Cunha on a regular basis this season knows that he's going to be a very good signing. He's even been compared to this fella behind me in terms of his aura.
Yeah. Well, Sunderland today. You're at the Stamford Bridge, Crookie, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
I'm there as well.
Well, I mean,
we'll have a laugh.
Chelsea sounds tense.
Come on, what are you going to say about Chelsea? Come on, you'll be optimistic with Chelsea and Sunderland.
I think, well, absolutely. I mean, listen, I picked out Sunderland as the team of the three promoted sides who I thought would stay up at the start of the season. Certainly seen nothing to change my mind there. Chelsea, it was an underwhelming start for me, Cass. And obviously Sam Matterface is a big Chelsea fan and he was getting quite frustrated early on. But it does feel like a corner has been turned. And the fact that they're putting wins on the board without a recognised number 9, really, against Ajax in midweek, although they were really poor, Ajax. It's pretty sad what's happening to them at this moment in time. But 5 wins in a row, if they win today, could go second for a few hours, as you say. And I tell you what, Esteval, he looks at a real talent, doesn't he? Very raw still. And in the second half, he just seemed almost single-handedly wanted to add goals on the board. So maybe his end product can improve, but they've got a gem there, I think.
How are you finding things for Enzo Maresca as well? Because there doesn't seem like there's much heat on him at the moment.
No, I don't think there is. Well, Chelsea put out that sort of briefing, didn't they, after 4 or 5 games, saying, look, it's not been the greatest start, but we'll assess the position as we always do at the end of the season. That felt a bit odd because it didn't feel to me like there was any great clamour from journalists asking if Enzo Maresca was under pressure, but that did just silence the noise and maybe embolden the manager. And they've had some great wins since then. Yep. Benfica with Jose Mourinho was a tricky game to navigate. Liverpool at home was a fantastic performance and really has been the springboard for this run that they're on. I thought at the start of the season that maybe sort of double figures to win the league, Chelsea were overpriced. I don't think they're going to challenge for the title. I think Arsenal are too consistent and Man City are just too good. But I think certainly a place in the top 4 is up for grabs. And if they can put another cup in the cabinet, maybe a league cup, then that would be a good season.
Nice. Well, you two catch up at Chelsea today. Just before we let you go. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone you want to say sorry to this morning, Crookie, or you on good terms with everyone today?
No, I'm all good, I think. Yeah, I don't think I've got any enemies. And listen, Ruben Amorim, by the way, is always a delight to interview afterwards, win, lose or draw. I think he's a great people person.
He is indeed. Crookie, thank you so much. Our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. We will speak to you again very soon.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye. Take care of yourself. Coming up next for you on Weekend Breakfast, we're going to be speaking to the man who's been rattling Eddie Hearn next.
Abracadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi bobbidi boo. Put them together, and what have you got? Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Oh, that's a bit of a throwback.
What film's it from?
Think fairy tale.
Right.
Glass slipper.
Oh, right, okay.
Cinderella, and when she takes her through the whole process. I wish I could get ready that quickly.
Well, Christmas films are going to be on us soon, aren't they?
Oh, and Halloween films. Why are we playing Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, though?
Do you know what I watched? Not all of it, because I really do like what I've seen it a few times. Is Billy Elliot. Oh, I love Billy Elliot. It's a great film.
Great movie.
Yeah, the story, a lad coming down from, from Newcastle, that sort of way, coming down from to London to, learn ballet and all that. Just a really, really warming story.
It is a lovely story. By the way, when you watch movies with Rocco, does he get scared of the scary character?
Not really. Matilda.
Was he scared of Miss Trunchbull?
No, he liked it. He had a big smile on his face. But we went to the theatre to see Matilda.
Oh, yeah.
It was good.
That was good. That was a great show. Apparently, there's a story doing the rounds today. It's got the title Snow Woke. Disneyland.
Snow Woke?
Snow Woke, like it's woke.
Yeah, I know. I guess.
Get it, yeah. Stay with me, Kaz. Stay with me. Apparently, Disneyland is removing scary characters with villains such as Evil Queen from Snow White, set to make an appearance only at Halloween. And then the baddies, Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, he's not scary. Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians are also at risk to be caught.
What is wrong with the world where we're going down this road? We have to protect. We're bubble wrapping everybody.
The world's gone nuts.
We'll be walking kids across the street when they're 25, holding their hand, walking over the. Come on.
I know, they need to see a scary character. It's Halloween,
Yeah.
for the love of God. To be fair, we were at the range yesterday.
It makes you aware of scary people.
Oh.
So if that does make you aware there are people like this in the world.
Avoid people with glowing witch eyes and stuff. Yeah, true.
Well, deception. If you literally blindfold people from all this behaviour, you can't see scary characters, haven't you?
Yeah. It wouldn't be the same as well if them not been there. Oh, what a disgrace. The world's gone mad. It really has. By the way, live action coming up for you here on talkSPORT today. We've got Brentford versus Liverpool at 8 o'clock live for you here on talkSPORT. Championship over on talkSPORT 2. And then it's fight night tonight. Joseph Parker takes on Fabio Wardley live on talkSPORT from 10 o'clock. All the action from the O2. And to look ahead to the fight in more detail, we can speak to content creator Keeping Eddie Hearn young, I like to say. Good morning, Charlie Parsons. How are you, Charlie?
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me on. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Well, Eddie does look very young. I must say, he is feeling like a Peter Pan character because he's getting younger by every year.
Well, he likes to think he is. When you see a 45-year-old man thinking that he can turn up to press conferences in Jordan tracksuits, someone's got to keep him down a peg.
Has he got them trousers that are really tight at the bottom that show don't go all the way down to his shoes? Is he wearing them, Eddie?
Where they pull the socks up as well, and he's gone mad a little bit, bless him. But he's to rein it in a bit. That's where we've come in to try and humble him a little bit.
You two have a weird relationship that it's grown on TikTok. I follow you on TikTok, have done for ages, Parsons, and some of the conversations that you two have, I like to think that I can try and keep Tony Cascarino young. In actual fact, it's the other way around. But you teach Eddie all about the slang and the lingo that the kids are having these days.
You know what it is? I always just think for sport and being in the privileged position that I am to be able to even talk about boxing, how do you get young ears to listen in? And for me, one of the things was I always see that Eddie had a really good personality. And I thought, right, let's try and do that on a more youthful level. And then I never really wanted to upload stuff on TikTok. One of my mates just said it one day. And then they just kind of started blowing up, and that was that. But I think it's nice because I suppose it's not for everyone, right? The hardcores don't always love it. But actually it gets that kind of younger audience in sometimes, which I think is needed as well.
Yeah, it's really weird because I go back 30 odd years ago, and Dennis Wise, who would play for Chelsea, he's quite feisty, and he got sent off a few times, and he was lively in the dressing room. I can remember him. He cared for himself so much, creams himself all over the body, and just everything. I used to think, this little rascal who goes around kicking everybody week in, week out, is the most well-maintained man I've seen. And that's 30 years ago.
I think they're all like that now. They've all gone soft, really.
Preened, very preened.
It's like everyone having yellow boots 30 years ago. You know, like, oh, sorry, the one individual having yellow boots, and now everyone's got yellow and red boots. And
I was always a black and white Copper Mundial man, me.
Yeah, fair enough. Parsons, how are you feeling about the fight tonight? Are you looking forward to this one? How do you see it going?
Really, really excited. I think it's a good fight. I think Joseph Parker's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. I think rightfully so as well. Frustrated. It's been a bit of a weird time for him. He's been on such an incredible run. Obviously, in February, he was meant to fight against Daniel Dubois. That would have set up for the Usyk fight. And then whatever happened there. We still don't really know to this day, but these things happen in boxing. And he now finds himself fighting Fabio Wardley, which will be one that, I suppose, if you said to anyone for even a year ago, actually, a year ago, there was the rematch talk about Fraser Clark for Fabio Wardley. Now he finds himself fighting Joseph Parker. But a good fight. I think Joseph Parker is the right favourite, 20 pounds heavier as well. That paid off against Martin Bakole. But obviously he only came in on a short amount of notice. But a really, really good fight.
Yeah, and Fabio's a fairy tale story, isn't he? Because, you know, getting to 7th in the world by Ringmaster and having this opportunity, it really is a fairy tale story.
Yeah, it's mental, to be honest. The come up from being on the white collar circuit, and then it feels mad to even think when Eddie was doing the Matchroom Fight Camp shows when he fought Simon Vallily that he'd be now in this position headlining the O2, headlining Portman Road. But I think sometimes you get these fighters who, and I don't want to kind of discredit his boxing ability, but the punch power is those of, like, you know, your Deontay Wilders and stuff like that. And the fact of the matter is, if you can find a way to make that punch land, then you've got a really dangerous fighter. And I just think it's testament to learning on the job as well.
Yeah. He seems really smart. You know, that when you hear him talk, he sounds like a very intelligent man, and he's learning his trade, even though he's an experienced pro now.
Yeah, I think also going into that Ben Davison camp would have done that as well. I mean, they just the way that they look at boxing, everyone in and around, they properly study it. So I think that would have helped massively. But he is very, very switched on, and doesn't feel that any challenge is too big for him as well. When you're going into a fight like this, that is so important.
What's your prediction for tonight?
I think Joseph Parker will be too good, to be honest. I would love to see Fabio do it at the same time as well. Both of them are really, really good guys. Great advertisement for the sport. But I just think Joseph Parker, he's 33 years of age now. He's been on the circuit for a long, long time. He's been in with everyone. And in the form that he's in, knowing that Alexander Usyk has finally said, the winner of this fight, it should be that fight next, I think Joseph Parker should get the job done.
Absolutely. Charlie Parsons, thanks so much for joining us this morning, and have a fun time tonight.
Thanks you. For having me, Cheers, guys. Charlie.
Take care. We'll speak to you again very, very soon. Say hello to Eddie Hearn-Forrest. Coming up next on Weekend Breakfast, we're going to talk to former West Ham and Celtic striker Frank McAvenny next. Good morning. How are you getting on this Saturday? You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and the man who once won the Evening Standard Player of the Month. You did a lot more than that, I have to say. Tony Cascarino is with you this morning. Some of your other headlines: Sheffield Wednesday boss Henrik Pedersen is confident they can survive in the Championship despite being penalised for going into administration. They head into this lunchtime's game at West Brom on -6 points. Good luck to them. Really, good luck to them. Newcastle host Fulham in one of today's 3 o'clock kickoffs. Here is our talkSPORT correspondent to give you the rundown.
Steve Harmison here at St James's Park as Fulham are the visitors. As 1 point separates these two sides, and Newcastle will look to carry on from where they left off on Tuesday night. Fantastic 3-0 win versus Benfica. As for Fulham, well, they're looking to end their 3-game losing streak, but they'll be encouraged by the fact that they came to St James's last season and left with all 3 points. It's Newcastle versus Fulham, and it kicks off at 3 p.m.
Love it, Harmy. Thank you very much. All of the updates coming for you on Game Day Live with Adrian Dunham from 3 o'clock. What are you going to say?
Sheffield Wednesday got Oxford.
What did I say?
You said West Brom, didn't you? Or was it me?
They've got Oxford now.
Yeah,
That's
Oxford at home.
That's what I said.
Did you?
No.
No.
And in other news,
It might be me wrong.
No, it's
Right,
probably right. I'm always wrong. Miles off it. Joining us now is former Celtic striker Frank McAvenny, who had called out talkSPORT's very own Ali McCoist for dinghying his calls.
There's a lot of jocks down there, which is good. But tell Coisty to answer his phone. He's an absolute nightmare.
I said recently, I think I'm turning into Ali's receptionist. I'm your receptionist. I'm Ali McCoy's receptionist. I need extra cash here, Cass. I suppose if I get you a gig, I get 20%, right?
There's rises coming in November, so we'll have less money to spend.
I'm very pleased to say we're going to be joined by this man now.
Oh, what a song.
I know. What a legend as well.
Oh, what a band.
Don't worry, it's Depeche Mode aren't in the show. We're actually going one better than that. We've got former West Ham and Celtic striker Frank McAvenny. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
Hiya, Frank.
Yes, very well, thank you.
Do you know, Frank, every time, I've only bumped into you a couple of times, but every time I've seen you with a smile on your face.
Yeah, well, life's too short, Kaz. You know what it's like.
Yeah. Tell us, I can blame other people this way, Frank. I was always led astray by other players. I was one of the lads, which happens in lots of clubs. How would you describe yourself as the leader or the follower?
I was a follower.
No hesitations.
Yeah.
You can blame them then, can't you, Frank?
It was usually Mr. McCoist I was following, yeah.
Was he must have been nothing but trouble, Frank.
Oh, terrible. Yeah, get you into trouble all the time.
He's asking for you yesterday on talkSPORT Breakfast, and I got the chance to come on to go on Frank's podcast earlier on.
Yeah, I listened, yeah.
Let Me Be Frank, and we were speaking about the fact, Frank, that it might not have been Scotland for you, and if you had known that you could have got an Irish passport.
Yeah, well, I didn't realise until a couple of months ago someone said to me, some professor done something on me, and realised that my granddad, and I was, I didn't know my granddad, but he was Irish, so he says you can get an Irish passport. So yeah, that's what I've done, try to save the queues.
Well, I'm sure Jack Charlton would have knew about it somewhere along the way, Frank.
Well, I don't know, Kaz, because he was inviting, Ray Houghton was telling me that he was asking anyone who's anyone to come and play for Ireland, and I never get a shout, but it was, I would love to have played for Ireland. It was, I mean, we had so many talented strikers up at Scotland.
You'd obviously, Frank, heard about the nights out in Dublin and beyond in Malahide.
I had Andy Townsend and that, and I had to put them all, yes.
I wonder who had better nights out, the Ireland team in those days or the Scotland team in those days?
I think it would have been very close, yeah. It would have been, well, we shared a plane coming back from the World Cup with the Northern Ireland team, and that was bedlam. It was the quickest flight I've ever been on.
I bet it was.
Frank, I was looking earlier because you left before I joined Celtic, then I joined, and then you come just after I left.
I know, somebody had to fill the gap.
Yeah.
They just get me in. I'd love to have played up front. You big man, I was always a big man.
Yeah.
I was always a big man, like little TC and Andy Walker, so it would have been great to have someone a bit bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was looking.
Let me feed off you.
Frank, I was looking at your career. How did you end up in '92 going to Cliftonville and South China in the same year?
Yeah.
In the same week. They asked me to go to Cliftonville to play the semi-final. They wanted me to play in the semi-final, and I said, I can't. I'm going to Hong Kong on the Friday to go to South China. And they says, and my agent came up with the idea there's a loophole that I could have signed on a Monday, and you've got to sign for a month. That was the least you could sign for. So I said, but I'm going in Hong Kong on Friday, and they says, well, they can release you on a Wednesday morning. so I got a payday. I went over to Cliftonville. Got him to be fair, I got him to the final, scored the goal, that penalty and all that, and we got to the final, and I was celebrating with all the boys, and they were saying, you look forward to the final. I says, yeah, great, and all that. And I got released on the Wednesday morning, so it was Tuesday night.
That is wild. What a story. And Frank, while we've got you, we need to talk about your beloved West Ham. Another defeat last night against Leeds. Where do you stand with it all?
Listen, everyone, the Premier League is so competitive now, except for West Ham. They're not putting up a fight. There's nothing. I'm not too sure about Paqueta being a centre forward, Cass. I don't know what you think, but I think it's taken away a lot from him. But they're getting beat too easy. I mean, listen, everyone can get beat. Everyone can get through a bad patch. But I just think it's too easy. Teams are running over us. And we've not getting a fight. I just don't see anyone on that team. I mean, Bowen's a great player. I don't know if he should be captain. He's got to be captain at the moment because there's nobody else. But you need somebody in there that you can midfield or centre half that's going to rally the boys and all that. And and Bowen's tried to do everything. And I think it's taken away from him as well. So I just think I don't know what you think. It's just too easy for me. They're getting last week. and last night, it's just Leeds ran over them.
Yeah. And look, Leeds last night had Calvert-Lewin playing the centre forward role and led the line brilliantly, but didn't score, but doing what, because, Nuno spoke afterwards about not having anybody to lead the line. And it's, well, you can't play Paqueta there and to do that sort of role.
Well, you can't. I mean, how can you ask Paqueta to play that role? He should be feeding the ball to the centre forward. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. Listen, a lot of players, what it's like, guys. A lot of players can't play with their back to goal, and that's a hard job to do. You let the boy Calvert-Lewin last night. He didn't score, but it was different class because he led the line. He done things for his teammates. And that's what you've got to do as a centre forward.
Well, he was available in the summer. West Ham could have gone for Calvert-Lewin, but there were so many doubts over him and his injuries. But
too easy. That would have been too easy, Shebahn. We don't make it easy.
Right, fair enough. And also we need to talk about Celtic as well, because Frank, the current situation up in Scotland, up in Glasgow, is weird, isn't it? Never mind the fact that Hearts are sitting top of the table. We're away to Hearts tomorrow.
Yes.
I mean, how do you feel about this?
It's ridiculous. The only way that I've not seen Celtic play as bad for quite a long time, and it's the passing, and I get all this is possession and all that, but it's so slow and pedestrian, and we're not hurting defenders. It's all right switching play, but you've got to do it with pace, and we've not been doing it. The other night I thought they played well the other night in the parts, and they could have scored 8. They missed so many blatant chances. I mean, the boy Negrin was, oh my God, the headers, and the relief on his face when he did score. It was nice to see because he knew he missed an awful lot of chances. And if he didn't win the other night there, he would have blamed himself. He missed a few chances, but not just that. We could have easily scored 7 or 8 goals the other night there. So, and it was because things were a bit quicker, but. Everyone, I don't know what you think, Cuz, but everyone's getting off with hamstring problems, and I'm thinking, what's the fitness coaches doing? Right. So many people are seeing Hatate stretching his hamstrings, and I'm thinking, really? Yeah. This is during the game.
Well, it can be the demands, can't it, of the way you play. I'm with you, Frank.
Well, I know that, but the last couple of weeks it's been slower. I mean, I could have played.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And what you said there, Frank, is a typical example of, centre forwards want the ball very quickly if they're going to get a chance to score, because you can't lose a marker if it's pedestrian paced out wide in the middle. Then balls have to be played, sometimes at risk of losing the ball.
Yes, well, that's the biggest problem. People don't want to lose the ball now. And I think Callum's playing the position. Callum McGregor's playing the position where he shouldn't be in that position. He's not a number 6. Mm-hmm. He should be forward more. I can't remember the last time Callum had a shot.
Yeah.
And he's better forward. He can play the little balls. Yeah. We've got so many wingers now, and we don't need that. We don't need wingers. I mean, Negrin's not a winger. Everyone's injured.
Yeah. Frank,
there was some great balls the other night there, Cass. You would have loved it. I mean, the balls coming flying across the box, and it was the first time in, I don't know, maybe 10 games that I've seen that many balls getting flashed across the box. I'm thinking, he needs a tap in. Yeah. I think if any action had lasted longer, he would have scored a barrel load the other night.
Well, Frank, I've sort of had enough of football talk. Just to finally finish it off, what you're doing now, Frank? Tell us your life as you are now.
I'm enjoying the podcast. I'm enjoying it. You need to come on, Cass.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
He said, "What's the fee?" I'm not even kidding you, Frank. He texted me, "What's the fee?" I said, "You're at it."
It's a night out with me and Coyster, that'll do.
Yeah, I'd definitely, I'd come on for just the experience of Celtic and what it's all about. But and like we talk about. I think, Frank, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me in this, I think we played in the best time for football, where you had a life outside the game, and you also, football was in a great shape at that time, certainly the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, the cup final with Celtic, I was watching it, and with a corner cast, and there was 7 passes in the back of your keeper from a corner. And I was like, what's football coming to that is that? And we just scored 5 minutes earlier from a corner. So I don't get the players wanting to pass it all the way back. And I can't be bothered, as you say. I couldn't. The centre-halves are getting the most touches. I mean, people don't want to see centre-halves play football. They want to get it up to people like yourself up front and get scored goals and get, things happening in the box and in and around the goal. That's what people go to see. And as I spoke to Neil Lennon a while back, we were playing golf, and I was saying to him about we live to entertain. Mm-hmm. And he says it's a word that doesn't get used now in football, and I think it's such a crying shame, because people are paying good money to go and watch and get entertained, and they don't do it now, I don't think.
You're dead right. No, it's a very, very fair point. Listen, Frank, have you heard back from Ali McCoy yet? Now you've called him.
Nah, you're joking, aren't you? I phoned him once, and I was playing football with a five-a-side. He says, sorry, I came back to you. He phoned me that morning before we were playing football. And I said, Christ, it was 3 weeks ago I phoned you.
You know what they say, Frank? A friend in need is a pest.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't like to be lying in a gutter trying to phone Mr. McCoy to help me.
Listen, Frank McAvenny, please come back with us again soon. It was good to talk to you.
Cheers, Frank. Bye-bye. All the best.
God bless you. Former West Ham and Celtic.
Imagine the dressing room with Frank McAvenny.
I know.
Just, when he said immediately, when I said to him, were you a follower or a leader?
Yeah, I know.
Just like straight out.
Yeah, I was a follower, 100%. Always got in trouble. Do you know, it's funny because when I did this podcast, it's called Let Me Be Frank, by the way, if you want to go and take a look or something on YouTube. The other day, he'd said, how old were you then when I left Celtic? I would have been 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But I remember Frank from when the Only an Excuse show came out on New Year's Eve in Scotland.
I've heard of that show, yeah.
And there was an impression of Frank McAvenny.
Yeah.
And it was hysterical. It was so good, and that's how I started to learn more about Frank.
It's like a parody, wasn't it?
Parody, yeah. And it was great chat. If you're in Scotland, you'll know all about it, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, go and Google Frank McAvenny Only an Excuse. You'll have a little giggle. Yeah. Good to speak to Frank. Coming up next for you on Weekend Breakfast, there's always a bit of time for Cascarino yes, Cascarino no. We'll do it next morning.
Yeah.
Is this a duet?
No,
No,
Cyndi
it's just
Lauper.
One man band.
Just on.
Who's Cindy? Who's Lauper?
Cyndi Lauper is one person.
Good morning. You listen to
Time
Weekend
after time,
Breakfast. Shebahn Aherne.
Girls can only have fun. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, that's my karaoke song.
Yeah.
This is a great song, to be fair.
She was an 80s.
Pin up. Was she a pin up?
No, I wouldn't say a pin.
Not your cup of chai, no. Savage.
She was
Mark.
quite wacky in the way she dressed.
And our next guest is Cyndi Lauper. Time after time. Don't forget, the clocks go back tonight. 2 in the morning, it goes back to 1 in the morning. Tell me that's right and I've not just done myself dirty.
Oh, yeah. Girls can only have fun.
That's a classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I love a bit of Cyndi.
So we get an extra hour tonight?
You get an extra hour, watch the fight, chill, watch movies. It's going to be lovely. Drink more wine. What I'm going to do.
Celebrate Man United.
Absolutely. I'm confident it'll be a win for Man United against Brighton today. All of the updates coming for you on GameDay Live and the GameDay phone in here on talkSPORT. Don't forget the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily Podcast is available now. Kwaku Afari and Ollie Kling discuss whether Chelsea are the most exciting team in world football. If you want to hear more, then talkSPORT Daily is available now on all podcast platforms. You can also listen to it on the talkSPORT app. And it's time now for this.
Yes or no with Cascarino on the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT.
Cascarino yes, Cascarino no. This is where we ask Tony Cascarino very simple questions in football and hope that he answers with a Cascarino yes or Cascarino no. He tends not to do that. He tends to go on a rant. And then
well, I don't know what's coming.
So. Yes, this is true. I quite like the way you do it, to be fair. Don't change. Sheffield Wednesday have been plunged into administration and suffered a 12-point deduction. Can they avoid relegation?
Oh, tough, no. But it's a fantastic news for the club.
Yeah.
It really is. You can move on with an owner that obviously I just feel like, too many mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Earlier in the week, Wayne Rooney enjoyed his 40th birthday. He's the only man in Premier League history to score 200 plus goals and get 100 plus assists. Cass, should Rooney be considered as the greatest Premier League player ever?
He should be in the conversation. I wouldn't take Wayne as the best ever, but he has to be in the top 5 or 10, definitely.
Absolutely incredible player.
Yeah, Wayne, I think Wayne at his very best, because there was a period between 2009 to 2012 when it was Tevez, Ronaldo and Wayne. That was a phenomenal front 3-4.
Yeah, iconic.
I think that's the period. It might be a couple of years out, but at that time, they're really, really good Wayne.
We were saying yesterday that it's amazing that he's just turned 40, because it always felt like he was older than his years. Even when he was like 17 and burst onto the scene, he always seemed older, like physically. He was such
when he was 17, he felt... Oh, sorry, when he got in the team at 17, he felt like he was 25.
Yeah.
The size of him.
Happy birthday, Wazza. You're going to the Chelsea game today, Cass. Yeah. Will Chelsea get all 3 points today at Stamford Bridge?
Yes.
Chelsea against Sunderland, 3 o'clock this afternoon, as is Newcastle Fulham. All of those updates coming for you on GameDay Live. Man United 5:30 versus Brighton. Can Man United win?
Well, they can, but they're up against a very good opposition.
Will they?
Not sure. Just not sure on Manchester United.
I'm going for a big fat 2-0 Manchester United. And then 8 o'clock live for you here on talkSPORT tonight, our exclusive commentary of Brentford versus Liverpool. I'll see you tomorrow bright and early. Don't come early.
No, I definitely won't.
Okay, lovely. Always good to chat. You've been listening to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's good to be with you. We're back tomorrow morning from 6. Coming up next, it's the warm-up with Max Rushton and Charlie Baker. Bye.